Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto joins Anko as Anbu. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by LEXL52 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Beginning. Exterior. Konoha, back hills, forest, morning. Confronted by 6 Iwa Kunoichi, nude and unarmed except for hastily grabbed kunai, 6-year-old Naruto Uzumaki held a two-pronged kunai in reverse grip. He wore a navy long-sleeved shirt, black pants, a small backpack, and sandals. "I'm not impressed by how easily I was able to lure you into my trap," deadpanned Uzumaki, "so, this is the part where you surrender." "What trap, brat?" demanded the Iwa squad leader. In a flash, Naruto shot gold adamantine chains from his back, binding them whilst wooden pillars shot out of the ground. Then the pillars grew tendrils and roots that wrapped around each prisoner's limbs, joints and waistlines, whilst shifting into Y-frames, draining their chakra in the process. Wood clones strictly and efficiently bound the prisoners further whilst placing movement restricting and chakra suppression seals on them, further preventing the prisoners' chances of escape. Naruto cheekily grinned, "That one. Let us go, brat," growled one of the prisoners. "Why would I let spies go free?" scoffed Naruto, "as pretty as you ladies are, letting you go right after capturing you would be counterproductive. You know." The Iwa squad leader snapped, "Fuck you. Sorry, Kunoichi-san, but I don't know where you've been. Nor do I know who or what else has already been inside of you or any of your holes," replied Uzumaki, making the prisoners blush bright red at the implication before he gagged them, took several photos of each prisoner, and searched them for any hidden weapons and seals. As his prisoners glared, Naruto mentioned, "By the way, Anko-chan, Nico-chan, Wolf-chan, Tenzo-Naichan, Canary-chan, Raven-Naichan, Dove-chan, Owl-Naichan, Crow-Naichan, and Inu-Naichan, you can all come out now. Coast is clear and the spies have been subdued." Before his clones disappeared. As Anko Midarashi, age 15, accompanied by a handful of anbu, stepped into the open with an amused grin, Naruto held out a large box full of dango. "Happy birthday, Anko-chan. I got you some new toys to play with and your favorite dango. Oh, now here's a sweetheart who knows how to spoil me and make me feel special." Mused Anko, who met Naruto at eye level, smiled, kissed his cheeks and forehead, and hugged him closely, burying his face in the cleavage of her large breasts. Looking up into her eyes with flushed cheeks, Naruto beamed, "I'll always spoil you and make you feel special when I get the chance because you're very precious to me, Anko-chan." Earwormed Anko beamed, "And you're precious to me too, Naru-kun." The Iwa squad was increasingly unnerved by their captor and his choice of companions. Arriving out of breath, Iruka sighed in relief, "Naruto, thank Kami that you're okay. I got worried when you didn't come to class. Shikamaru told me he saw you heading out here. Did you know there were enemy shinobi sighted or were you just skipping class?" Some civilian-born classmates lied that they'd be my friends if I brought back a souvenir from yesterday's skirmish. I didn't actually believe them. Regardless, I decided to lure the scouts into a trap, capture them, and signal the anbu by flaring up my chakra. I've got cage-level reserves, so I'll need to work on my chakra control way harder than everyone else. As your sensei, I'd like you to tell me if anyone tries to trick you like that again. You could have been hurt, kidnapped or killed. Why would Iwa kidnap me? What am I worth to Iwa when most of Konoha treats me like I'm worthless?" asked Naruto, skeptical. "Why would Iwa want one of my kind in their village?" "Your kind?" asked Anko as she met Uzumaki at eye level. "Aren't I a demon, like the villagers claim, while terrorizing, torturing, abusing, and beating me as close to death as they can?" replied Naruto, making everyone including the prisoners flinch. Kissing Naruto's forehead and cheeks, Anko wrapped her arms around him, "Fuck no, you're not a demon, devil or monster. And don't let anyone convince you otherwise. You're Naruto Uzumaki, and you're my favorite treasure." Giving Midarashi a kiss on the cheek, Naruto hugged her with all his might, "I love you with all my heart, Anko-hime." The flushed cheeks, the snake mistress returned, "Oh, I love you too, Naru-kun." As Iruka turned towards him, Naruto asked, "Can my file say this was my first S-rank mission? I literally just captured 6 Iwa spies, who are all jonin, by myself. And I expect full anbu level payment for this. How about I treat you to some ramen? How about I get properly paid for single-handedly capturing Iwa spies? And how about people keep their hands off of my well-deserved and earned money? Excuse me? A bowl of ramen won't pay my bills, you know. You know I'm overcharged basically everywhere I go, and I live alone." Finally noticing the prisoner's state of undress, Iruka, Inu, Owl and Tenzo were sent rocketing back by massive nosebleeds. "Why are they naked?" asked Wolf, amused. After eating all of their food without them noticing, I destroyed their clothes, sealed away their equipment and any items of value, and found them bathing. Then I took some photos and gave myself a little head start before leading them into a trap. Cheeky Naru-chan. Giggled Dove. It was a little perverted to make them naked. Stated Canary. Erasing evidence of them being here is standard procedure. Replied Uzumaki, and little more stands out more than a shinobi's uniform. Point taken. Naruto, please don't scare me like this again. Pleaded Iruka as he recovered. I can't make promises like that, you know. Pointed out Uzumaki. Later. Interior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, Ibiki's office. I want to join Anbu, declared Naruto, completely serious. Why do you want to join up? Asked Ibiki, almost spilling his coffee. The Anbu's been protecting me since I was a newborn and saved my life so many times. It's always looking out for me and watching over me, and it's the closest I have to a family. Where would we even put you? But the squad already under orders to protect me. It'd save time tracking me down if I'm with them. And one of the best ways to protect me is to raise me and train me until I'm more than strong enough to protect myself. I see your logic and it's sound, Furugaki. I may be 6 years old, but I'm not innocent. If I may recommend a codename for myself within the Anbu, I suggest Yami Kitsune. I like it. I'll be mutually loyal, respectful, supportive and trusting of those who are towards me without an ulterior motive. I won't give blind loyalty, support, respect or trust. If I did, I'd be dead by now. Good to know you're wise for your age. Also, we wouldn't want the politicians interfering with Anbu affairs so they can't find out. Especially Danzo Team, the warmongering pedophile. I wouldn't let him anywhere near an asset like a Jinchuriki. I'm a human being, not a machine, weapon or tool. Agreed. As my new CO, you should know that I've met and been speaking to the Kyuubi vixen. She says I can trust you because you were on my mother's Anbu squad and you're one of my godfathers along with Uraya-sensei. Informed Uzumaki as he looked into Ibiki's eyes. The scarred Anbu veteran nodded, does that mean you know your heritage? Also, Kyuubi's a she? Yes to both, and keeping my heritage a secret is honestly hurting me more than revealing it would. At least let people know I have godparents so I can have a legal guardian, for Kami's sake. And keeping that I'm a real Uzumaki a secret is hindering my development as a ninja. What are we discussing? Asked Hiruzen as he entered, accompanied by a teenage boy with short dark curled hair, fair skin and black eyes. The kid knows his heritage and he wants to join Anbu, answered Marino, and he's making a reasonable case. I'm open to becoming an interrogator too. Added Uzumaki. I saw it all through my crystal ball, said Hiruzen, this is a very serious matter to discuss. Hi Gramps. Hi, Shisui Naichin, greeted Naruto. Hey Naruto. Greeted Shisui the teleporter, what's this I heard about you becoming an interrogator? After all the things the villagers have done to me, I have plenty of ideas and inspiration for what I'd do to a prisoner under interrogation. Especially if I'll be interrogating and torturing members of the civilian council. I know people say Anbu members need darkness, and I'm pretty sure being a Jinchuriki fills that requirement. A few days later. Interior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, Team Row Barracks, morning. As he entered in an Anbu uniform, Uzumaki was greeted by warm and friendly smiles. Hello, Naruto, greeted Nico, age 14, as she knelt down and removed her mask, I'm Yuga Yazuki. You already know me, I'm Shisui, added Shisui, holding a crow mask. I'm Hisashi Hyuga, said Owl as he revealed long dark hair and pale eyes without pupils. Hi, Hisashi Nyasan, said Naruto. You know you love me, the sexy Anko Midarashi. Sweetly said Anko, and I'm all yours when you're older, Naru-kun. When I'm old enough, I want to have my first time with you, Anko Haim. Blurted Naruto, earning a blush from the snake mistress. You want to lose your virginity to me? I trust you not to take advantage of me or force me into it. Kurenai-chan's welcome to join in if she wants to. If you weren't so cute, innocent and adorable, I'd almost think you were the youngest pervert ever for suggesting a threesome between you, me and Nai-chan. My point is I trust both and either of you, and Wolf-chan as well, to take care of me. I know I'll be in good hands if my first time is with you. And people call the activity making love, but also say things like share the love, and the more the merrier too. Holding her sides, Anko erupted into laughter, I call dibs on teaching you about sex when you're older. I'm more of a physical, hands-on, and practical learner than a theoretical one. Mentioned Uzumaki, making the hysterically laughing Anko fall onto her fine ass, and the other Kunoichi in the room blushed and laughed. Tsu Minyazuka, self-introduced a young, feral-looking Kunoichi, age 21, holding a wolf mask with red markings. I'm classmates with your son and daughter, said Uzumaki, I can tell from their markings and their facial features. Good eye, pup. Praised Tsum. "I am Itachi Uchiha," said Raven, who removed his mask. Of removed her mask, revealing fair skin, short brown hair, a purple stripe on each cheek, and hazel eyes. "I'm Rin Nahara." "I'm Izumi Uchiha," self-introduced Canary as she removed her mask, revealing fair skin, onyx eyes, and shoulder-length black hair. "There's 3 Uchiha on the squad," thought Naruto, interesting. "Tenzo Yamato," said a young man, aged 23, with shoulder-length brown hair. "Kakashi Haddock," self-introduced Inu, who removed his anbu mask and, to everyone else's shock, pulled down his face mask, revealing an overkill handsome face. "Your left eye's covered, Kakashi Naichin. Does it need fixing?" asked Uzumaki. "I had a transplant, but it was a rushed procedure in the field, so I have to be careful when I use it," explained Kakashi. "The transplanted eye has a Sharingan, but I can't turn it off." "I can fix that for you," insisted Naruto, "if you'd like." Earning speechless expressions. "As the official team medic, I'll approve the attempt," mentioned Yugao, having complete faith in the kid. Naruto placed a hand, glowing with golden chakra, over Kakashi's revealed left eye before the silver-haired Jonin's stance relaxed, then he withdrew his hand. "It's done, but you should take some time to get used to it. You'll still have your Sharingan, but now you can turn it off when it's not needed." "Thank you," said Haddock as he looked in the hand mirror to see his facial scar was gone. "You could try going without the face mask when you're not on a mission. Maybe." "So, what codename have you received, Naruto?" asked Yugao. "Yami Kitsune," answered Naruto, who donned an expressionless black fox-like hunter nin mask with dark red eye outlines and whiskers. "What do you think? You look so cute in your little uniform, but powerful and intimidating in your mask. I thought a fox mask would be a token of respect, friendship with, and acknowledgement of Kurama-chan, or Kara-chan for short." "Yeah, I've already met her, and she says Mom wore a similar mask," said Naruto as he removed his mask. "Kyuubi's a girl. Sweet," mused Anko, "that brings hell hath no wrath like a woman scorned to a whole new level." "Oh, you have no idea how right you are," thought Kara. "That makes her more terrifying," commented Tenzo. "Naruto, you befriended the Nine Tails?" wondered Yugao, amazed and concerned. "Yes," admitted Uzumaki, "Kara-chan also says that Mom would be very proud of you, Rin-chan, Itachi, Tsume-chan and Kakashi like a parent would be proud of their children. And that when he reaches the afterlife, she'll hit and yell at Kakashi for not letting her see that handsome face even once while she was alive. For not adopting me after she raised him as her son following Sakumo-kun's death. And for reading something called smut in public." Earning smiles and chuckles. "When you're with us, you can turn off your appearance masking seal," informed Kakashi. Naruto's complexion became fair, his hair transitioned from blonde to Uzumaki red, his whiskers became smaller, and his eyes turned purple with a ringed pattern. "So, how do I look?" Itachi, Izumi, Hisashi and Shisui's eyes widened. "Rinnegan." "Yes," confirmed Naruto, who deactivated the Dojutsu, revealing blue eyes. "What should we teach you to start off with?" wondered Tsume. "How about I show what I can already do and we start from there?" suggested Uzumaki. "Sounds good, pup. We'll make you a master of weapons, sealing, and jutsu before you know it," added Yugao. "Can we all get a group photo together, with and without our uniforms?" asked Naruto. "I've never had family photos before." "Of course we can, sweetie," answered Izumi. Taking a photo together whilst cuddling, Naruto blushed as Anko kissed his cheek at the last second. Later. Interior. Konoha, Anbu, men's locker room, morning. Entering, Yami Kitsune noticed everyone, not from his squad, had gone still like deer in headlights. "Hey, everyone, I'm Yami Kitsune. But you can call me either part of the codename." "Do we have baby Anbu now?" asked Bor, confused. "Depends if you're wearing a diaper under your uniform, Bor-chan," teased Yami Kitsune, earning laughter. "Damn, you're as troublesome and feisty as the last Anbu to wear that mask," sighed Deer. "I figured that out as soon as I recognized the mask, you know. She had that verbal tick too," mused Lion. "Should we expect you to go on any mission soon?" Kakashi interjected, "My newest protege will be undergoing a considerable amount of intense training before we even consider it. A year or two at least, since we have minimum age requirements on deployable operatives." "How formidable is he so far?" asked Ox. "He's full of surprises. You know those Iwa Jonin that were captured the other day? That was his handiwork. He also interrogated a couple of them personally. But the rest already on his schedule." Deer turned to Yami Kitsune. "Should we be worried that you're already breaking prisoners?" Yami Kitsune gave the scariest yet sweetest smile with his eyes closed. "Only if you're on the receiving end. You know. How old are you anyway?" 6, turning 7, and I have no obligation to justify my being here. Troublesome, but we won't judge you. Not being judged would be a first for me. Kitsune-kun, you can relax." There are no Foundation or root agents here or civilian council pets, little brother. Assured Inu Kakashi. I know, Inu Naichin. I just don't trust new people easily. Neither do I. Yami Kitsune turned to everyone, I hope we can all be brothers. Or as the Mandalorians say Voden. Dolphin would like you, said Deer. I agree, Iruka likes the more interesting people in the village. Any bloodlines and chakra natures we should know about so we can take them into account when working with you? Asked Dragon. Yami Kitsune's Rinnegan met Dragon's gaze, Ibiki has a briefing to answer that. Good. Exterior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, training ground, morning. Yami Kitsune drew a kunai, I'm ready. Okay, Yami Kitsune, hit the targets, but only one throw and one kunai. Instructed Anko. As he threw the kunai, Yami Kitsune quickly did a hand sign before all 1000 targets were hit with a bullseye by the kunai and 999 kunai shadow clones, earning drop jaws and sweat drops, what? I didn't say you could use a jutsu to help you or to go for all of them. I was told to hit the targets with only one throw, and I did. Was it meant to ricochet off of all of the targets or was I meant to get up close and personal? That was clever, sweetie, praised Nico, but where did you learn that jutsu? I found it inside a scroll mounted like a trophy on a wall in the Hokage's mansion. I figured it was where he kept his deluxe edition Icha collection and wanted to hold it for ransom. Of course, I opened the scroll to check before doing anything else. Since it was full of advanced jutsu instead, I figured I may as well read and learn from it before putting it back. You learned techniques from the scroll of sealing? Asked Inu, impressed and surprised. Well, the Anbu squad hiding in the room didn't try to stop me, shrugged Yami Kitsune, it turned out the Hokage saw everything through his crystal ball. You knew the guards were there? Asked Tenzo. Yeah, they need to sharpen their stealth skills. They were so lazy they could have made the Nara clan look as hyperactive as Mito Guy. Answered Yami Kitsune, earning laughter. And why did you want to ransom the Hokage's Icha collection? Have you seen the apartment I was given after the orphanage threw me out? Fair enough, and maybe we can do some wood-style renovations and improvements. And you can live in the barracks in the meantime. Yami Kitsune turned to Tsum Wolf, Tsum-chan, have you signed a summoning contract? I have. You've done what? As he stood back from his teachers and removed his mask, Naruto called, summoning jutsu. Before a purple-robed and pointy-hooded human-like male with lightly tanned skin and purple hair and eyes, wielding a long green staff, appeared. Greetings, I am Mahid. The Dark Magician, one of Naruto's summons. None have signed the dual spirit summoning contract since Ashura Otsutsuki. As Mahid returned to his realm, Nico asked, since we're training Naruto, what should we do about his schooling? He can't just drop out of the academy and leave his friends behind. That would make people suspicious and he needs to spend time with the other kids. I'll still go for the social experience. Maybe I'll play a prank on Iruka-sensei so he thinks Kakashi's disguised as me. Poor Iruka. Said Itachi. Hey, Itachi Naichin, you know that Tsukiyomi? I believe my Rinnegan can use it and other abilities of the Mangekyo Sharingan. Do I even want to know how you know about that? Kurama's been explaining the different abilities of each Dojutsu in case someone with a Sharingan gets any ideas about trying to control her again. She has plenty of colorful ways to describe and express how much she hates the Sharingan more than anything. I'm sure she does, and they're likely all justified given her history with it. She also says I should learn how to keep those filthy eyes from stealing the rewards of my hard work and training. And the only members of the Uchiha clan she has any respect for are you, Shisui, Mikoto, and your girlfriend. Izumi's not my girlfriend. Am I invited to the wedding? You're refreshingly cheeky, mused Itachi, you know I'm going to get you back for that comment. What kind of little brother would I be if I didn't tease you a little? Asked Naruto, and can we go out for Ichiraku ramen? Itachi poked Naruto's forehead, sorry, Naruto-kun, maybe some other time. Before internally laughing at the boy's pout. I'll go with you, Naru, said Anko as she brought Naruto into a hug, we'll make it a date and it's cold tonight so we can share my bed to keep warm. Uzumaki nodded, as you wish. What's your favorite jutsu? Naruto asked as he looked at Shisui, and can I learn it? Let's find out your elemental affinity first. I have a multi-affinity with basically everything, all types of nature release, and I can do shadow clones and all of the elemental clones. This is where the fun begins. Mused Tsum. Hey, Tsum-heim, are you a sage too? Asked Naruto. Tsum raised an eyebrow, what do you mean too? Don't tell me you've learned sage mode. And at your age? As his eyes became wedged eyes and the millennium symbol appeared on his forehead, Naruto informed, I did, and I suspect my Rinnegan made achieving it easier. Jiraiya would be so jealous that you've unlocked Sage Mode at 6 years old. I can tell this is something beyond normal Sage Mode, but Kurama-chan's not saying why. Maybe I have a special connection to nature which allows me to instinctively gather nature energy, whether I'm consciously aware of it or not. Show off. As he met Shisui's gaze, Naruto asked, Shisui Niasen, can you please promise never to use Kodomatsukami on me? Shisui nodded, I never have and never will use it on you. It took a while to earn your trust, and I won't break it. Interior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, TI Division, Interrogation Room, afternoon. Entering the cold, dark room to see one of the prisoners he'd captured tied down to a rack, naked, in an X shape, Yami Kitsune was like a phantasm in his movements. Whoever you are, I won't talk. Said the prisoner, fear increasingly evident in her voice as she trembled upon feeling the intensity of her interrogator's kai. In a deep, ominous voice, Yami Kitsune replied, talk. It is not my intention to make you talk. I will make you scream. Interior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, T Division, Detention Block, afternoon. Through one-way glass, Anko watched the interrogation with a bowl of popcorn, damn, my foxy cun's putting on a good show. I'm officially in love with him. You're enjoying this too much, sighed Nico. Here comes the climax. Eagerly anticipated Anko before they could swear they heard the shriek of a Nazgul, that's the scariest orgasm sound I've ever heard. You haven't heard mine. Chuckled Wolf. Enzo shifted uncomfortably, I am too young to listen to this conversation. Your minds are as dirty as Inu's book. Grumbled Ibiki, he's torturing the prisoner, not fucking her. They know, it's just Anko's sense of humor, replied Owl, speaking of, I worry how my niece would be influenced if she was introduced to Anko too soon. Doesn't she have a crush on Naruto? Asked Dove. The Ashi and Hera find it adorable. Do they have any plans to have another child yet? Asked Tenzo. Not yet, but two of the suggested names for a girl are Kushina and Hanabi. Kushina? Asked Wolf, smiling at the thought, they really loved our red-hot habanero, didn't they? We all loved and treasured Kushina Haim. Answered Hiruzen as he appeared, just as we love and treasure her mother, Tsunade Haim. Later. Interior. Konoha, Shinobi District, Kurenai and Anko's apartment, living room, morning. Naru-kun, you actually said that about us. Giggled Kurenai, age 15, as she looked at the blushing Uzumaki who nodded. He sure did. Confirmed Tsume. And he had the cutest look on his adorable face when he did. Snickered Anko. Amused, Kurenai planted a kiss upon Naruto's cheek, you're a very cheeky yet innocent boy, and I love you for it. Hugging Yuhi, Naruto beamed, I love you too, Nai-Haim. Always will no matter what happens. Thank you, Naru-kun. The only one of us he didn't bring up when he said it was me. Sighed Yugao. I'm sorry for neglecting you and making you feel left out, Yugao-chan, apologized Naruto who hugged the purple-haired medic Nin. Hiding a blush, Yugao kissed his forehead, don't worry, Naru-chan. I forgive you and will always love you, sweetie. I love you too, Kitty Haim. Looking up at Anko with indomitable determination, Naruto vowed, Hibi-Haim, I promise I'll find a way to remove your curse mark. Mitarashi embraced Uzumaki, thank you. I love you, Anko-chan. Oh, I love you too, my Naru-kun. Anko Mitarashi, will you marry me? Asked Uzumaki, completely innocently yet seriously, with an adorable expression. You're a bit too young for marriage right now, darling. Can you please wait until you're older? Gently asked Anko, it'd mean a lot to me if you'll be patient with me, so we can both take the time to sort out whether that's what both of us really want, then gave a precious smile. That was part of the plan, Haim. Let's take, say, 10 years to sort all of this out. Plus, you'll have developed and matured physically, intellectually, emotionally and mentally in that time. Okay. Mitarashi mentioned, when we're sure that's how we love each other, I'd happily marry you when the time's right, earning a precious smile from the boy. As you wish, Anko Haim, agreed Naruto, I'll make sure to take you on lots of dates in the meantime, so we have plenty of time to work out our true feelings for each other. Good plan, my darling Naruto-kun. And I'll be happy to share you with Nai-chan. As long as that's alright with Nai-Haim too. And I'll do my best to do right by both of you. Kurenai smiled at how thoughtful the boy was being. Taking the time, Yugao gave Naruto a storage scroll, in place of a backpack, have everything you need for the academy, sweetie. Yes, Yugao-chan. Good boy. Said Yugao, who smiled. I'll walk you to school when it's time to go, okay? Asked Anko. Okay, can I prank Iruka-sensei? As long as it's a harmless one. Interior. Konoha, Academy, classroom, late morning. Naruto, how nice of you to finally join us. Where have you been for the last hour? Asked Iruka as Uzumaki entered, reading a book. With a shrug as he kept reading, Naruto answered, sorry I'm late, Iruka-sensei. I'm afraid I got lost on the path of life, making some of his peers laugh. Iruka sweat dropped, you're late because you've been hanging out with Kakashi. I would have been on time, but along the way, we were ambushed and chased all over the village by this possibly insane workout fanatic who was shouting about his flames of youth, added Naruto. Iruka went pale, I believe you. Stupid Naruto baka. I bet you can't even read, you idiot. Why does someone like you have a book? Screeched Sakura, making everyone cover their ears. You say something. Dismissed Uzumaki, ignoring the banshee, before taking a seat next to Shikamaru. Troublesome, muttered Nara. Would you have me any other way? Chuckled Uzumaki. No, I wouldn't trade having your troublesome self around for anything in the world. You're one of my best friends. Thanks Shika. That really means a lot to me. What are you reading? Asked Nara, taking an interest. The Tale of the Utterly Gutsy Shinobi by Jiraiya-sensei, answered Naruto. Any good? I think so, especially since I'm named after the main character. Shikamaru nodded. Oh, by the way, said Naruto as he smirked at the trio of idiots who lied to him, here's your souvenir. And held up a severed head with a sickeningly sweet smile, sending them out screaming. After a moment as everyone looked at him in horror, except for Kiba, Hana, Shino, Choji, Hinata Shikamaru, Naruto did a hand sign, Kai. Revealing a party-sized bag of chips which he passed to Choji who smiled. Are you okay, Naruto? Asked Kiba, age 5, concerned, you weren't here the other day and we all know you never get sick. I was being chased by Iwanins in the back hills. Why were they chasing you? I ate all of their food, answered Uzumaki, earning a high five from Choji, I'm a growing boy, you know. Before doing a discreet hand sign and whispered under his breath, muting jutsu. You're always thinking with your stomach, baka. Screeched Haruno, at the top of her lungs, almost making ears bleed, before completely losing her voice. Sound off. Quipped Naruto. Thank you for shutting her up, Naruto, said Hana, age 5, gratefully, as she smiled at Uzumaki. My pleasure Hana, right. Yep, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Hana-chan. Mused Naruto, with a grin. Mischievous, Hana asked, oh, am I Hana-chan already? Naruto ruffled the back of his hair, is it okay if I call you that? You have no idea how to talk to girls our age, do you, Naruto-kun? Talking to a short-tempered and impatient kid surrounded by a tree's worth of paperwork would be easier for me to master the art of, admitted Naruto, making his peers chuckle. Interior. Kumo, Raikage's tower, office, morning. The mighty, intimidating powerhouse that was the fourth Raikage sneezed, blowing his desk and the accompanying stack of paperwork across the room. Achoo, achoo, do you need a tissue? Rapped Killer B as he entered the room, earning a glare from his brother. Interior. Iwa, Tsuchikage's tower, office, early afternoon. Whilst taking a sip of tea, Inoki sneezed, causing the hot beverage to spill onto his paperwork in his lap, Interior. Konoha, Academy, classroom, late morning. I've gotta learn the muting jutsu, sighed Iruka, and Sakura, you have detention for repeatedly screaming in my classroom and abusing your peers. As the jutsu was released, giving her voice back, Sakura sneered, it's only Naruto baka, so it's fine. My mum says the baka deserves it because he's a freak. You've gotta stop being so mean to Naruto. Interjected Ino. Sakura, consider yourself suspended for the next month. Snapped Iruka who gestured to the door, now, get out of my classroom. My mum will hear about this and make both of you pay. This is the Shinobi Academy, reminded Shino, the civilian council has no authority here. As Sakura left, Iruka asked, alright, everyone, when I call your name, I want you to stand up and tell me your goal for the future or what you want to be when you grow up. Understood? Yes sensei, chorused the class. Shikamaru, you're first. Troublesome. Muttered Shikamaru as he got to his feet, when I grow up, I want to be a jonin of Konoha and have a family. Ino, your turn. Ino stood, when I grow up, I want to master my clan techniques and be a medical nin like Tsunade Senju. Tenten, you're next. Tenten stood, I want to be a great Kunoichi and Kinjutsu master like Yugao Yazuki. With skills that rival the 7 shinobi swordsmen of Kiri. That's a nice one. Ikumo stood, when I want to grow up, I want to be a master of Jinjutsu like Kurina Yuhi. Rock Lee. The bushy-browed boy stood, I want to prove I can be an excellent shinobi with only Taijutsu, like Mido Gai and Mido Dai. Naruto, you're up. As he stood, Naruto simply said, when I grow up, I want to be happy and loved. Earning concerned looks from his peers. Fair enough, but is that really all you want? Asked Iruka, hoping for something a little more cheerful. Was I supposed to say something like I want to be Hokage? Dadabeo. Asked Uzumaki, making people snicker, or maybe something a little more dramatic and intense like. Naruto spoke in a deep, chilling, stoic monotone, I'm going to show the world what true pain is and stop all wars with the terror that pain will inspire. Whilst a chill ran down everyone's spines. Iruka paled, you really worry me, sometimes, you know that. Writing in his notebook, Naruto shrugged, my real goal's to find a way to safely remove Orochimaru's curse marks so I can help someone I love. Later. Exterior. Konoha, Academy, rooftop, lunchtime. Sitting across from Shikamaru, Choji, Shino, Ino and Hinata, Naruto took out an ocarina, do you mind if I practice? You're learning an instrument? Asked Hinata, that's wonderful. Naruto soothingly played concerning hobbits, earning smiles and a round of applause when he finished. It seems you are a natural, and the tune was quite pleasant, praised Shino, my colony also expresses its appreciation. What's your secret to having learned so quickly? Asked Shikamaru. Shadow clones, answered Uzumaki. Troublesome. Legend says Tobirama Senju invented shadow clones to vanquish an evil so great and terrible that to this day it's remembered and feared throughout the elemental nations as Cage's bane. What could be so terrifying that it earns a name like that? Asked Hana as she joined them. After a dramatic pause, Naruto answered, paperwork. Making his companions erupt into laughter, except for Shino who smiled and allowed himself an amused chuckle. Exterior. Konoha, Academy, courtyard, early afternoon. First match will be Sasuke Uchiha vs Naruto Uzumaki, said Iruka. With a small smile, Naruto met his opponent's gaze, good luck, Sasuke. You're the one who needs luck, Naruto. You're fighting an Uchiha. I'll be fine as long as your fangirls don't interfere. I don't need them fighting my battles for me. Tell that to them. After exchanging several series of combos without landing a strike on Uzumaki, Sasuke was hit in the gut before he leapt back and did hand signs, fire style. Fireball jutsu. Water style. Water dragon jutsu. Countered Naruto as the latter jutsu went through the former and knocked Uchiha onto his back, leaving him soaking wet. You okay? Asked Naruto, offering his hand. Getting up with a groan as he took Naruto's hand, Sasuke replied, yeah, but my dad's going to be disappointed that I lost. And how did it make you feel? Like I need more training, sighed Uchiha whose eyes widened, Mum's going to be furious that I used fire style at school. Not as much as she'd be if you'd actually burnt the school down. Pointed out Naruto, causing Sasuke to pale. Okay, you two, do the sign of reconciliation and move to the side so the next match can begin, said Iruka, and the two boys complied, also, we will only be using Taijutsu now. The class eyed, yes sensei. Next match is Shikamaru vs Tenten. Troublesome fighting a girl, groaned Shikamaru, what a drag. I heard that. Indignantly said Tenten. Oh, can I forfeit? Asked Shikamaru, nervous. Iruka shook his head, nope. Crap. Chapter 2. A few weeks later. Exterior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, private training ground, late afternoon. Wood style. Wood dragon jutsu. Called Naruto before a massive wooden dragon ascended from beneath the ground and lunged towards Tenzo who narrowly evaded. How do you know that jutsu? Asked Tenzo. I basically had a tutorial in my mindscape made from Kaio-chan and Mito's memories of seeing Hashirama in action, admitted Uzumaki, and one of my powers is being able to understand and master any technique. But unlike if I were using a Sharingan, I'm not copying the technique. Any idea why she wants you getting strong? She's way nicer than anyone stupid enough to call her a demon would expect and very protective of me. Her father's the sage of 6 paths. And did you call her Kaio-chan before? Kara-chan insists on nicknames like that. Were you using her chakra for that wood dragon? She's on strike from lending it to me until I'm consistently on a healthy diet for a shinobi and more physically developed. She's willing to improve my healing capabilities and show me techniques but says it's too soon to consider training and harnessing her powers. I can't believe I'm agreeing with her. She also says I should meet the 8 Tails Jinchuriki, killer bee of Kumo, when I'm training and mastering my Jinchuriki abilities. Why would she want you to train under the Raikage's brother? Because he's an old friend of my parents and he's mastered and achieved complete control over his Jinchuriki abilities. They're in harmony with each other and friends too. Only problem with contacting him is how strained relations between our villages have been. I also want to learn as much about sealing as possible to honor my parents and the Uzumaki clan and so I can learn how to free Anko-chan from the curse mark. I can help you master the basics of sealing and bring you scrolls and books from our library to help you when I've taught you as much as I know about it. Maybe we can learn more about it together. Sounds good, Tenzo Naichin. If we're lucky, we might be able to convince Jiraiya-sensei to teach you next time he's in town. Hara-chan says that finding out I'm alive will be enough to convince the pervy sage to teach me, said Naruto. Tenzo burst into laughter, pervy sage. Hara-chan says it's what Mum used to call Jiraiya-sensei of the Sannin, who's also one of my godfathers. Promise me you'll continue that trend. Want to see another jutsu I learned in my subconscious's training ground, for lack of a better term? Sure. With a cheeky grin, Naruto said, "Don't blink," before throwing a kunai which multiplied by 500, then there was a yellow flash as he disappeared and reappeared holding the original kunai in a reverse grip. Naruto threw several more of the kunai into various targets in a round perimeter, said, "Race and Flash Super Circle Dance Hall Stage 3." And once more became a yellow flash that raced around the training ground. Returning to Tenzo's side in a flash, Naruto asked, "What do you think?" "I think the name needs shortening and that you're going to give someone a heart attack." Interior. Iwa, Tsuchikage's office. A short balding, big-nosed fossil of a man sneezed, causing his mountain of paperwork to fall on top of him, knocking him off his chair, onto his aching back, and burying him in the accursed forms. "Ah. My back." groaned Inoki. Interior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, private training ground, late afternoon. "I think I'll shorten the name to Raijin Flash," said Naruto. "If you keep doing it in the circle, you could call it Raijin Vortex too. That's actually pretty good too. Habarama-kun invented the original technique, you're probably just rediscovering undocumented moves he created," said Kara through her link to Naruto. "I'll give you credit for the effort in renaming long-lost moves, though. At least if he hears them, he won't think you're being a comedian." "Thank you for the compliment, my lovely Vixen-chan," thought Uzumaki. "I love you too, my dear Naru-kun." Later. Exterior. Konoha, training ground, late morning. Practicing his ocarina after finishing training with 3000 Shadow and Wood clones, under Izumi and Itachi's supervision, Naruto, in his redeed form, paused, "Can you please come out now, Panda-chan?" An adorable little girl, with chocolate eyes and brown hair and twin buns, approached Uzumaki. "Hi, I'm Tenten. We're in the same class at the academy." "Nice to meet you, Tenten-chan." "I'm Naruto Uzumaki," replied the redeed. "How long have you been watching?" "Long enough to see you go from blonde to redeed. And your whiskers are cute. Would you like to be my friend?" "As long as you be my friend too." "Deal," agreed Naruto, who mentioned, "Hinata-chan, I know you're there too." Before the Hyuga heiress approached. A few weeks later. Exterior. Konoha, Hot Springs, path, midday. "Hey pervert," shouted Naruto as a redeed as he crept up behind a man with very long spiky white hair who was peeking through a hole in the wall to the women's bathing area. Turning towards the boy who discreetly activated a voice projecting and echoing jutsu, the pervert self-introduced, "I am not just any pervert, you naive boy. I am the Toad Sage of Mount Myaboku. One of the legendary Sannin. Author of the famous Icha Icha series. The great master Jiraiya the Gallant. And I am a super pervert." With a dramatic gasp, Naruto exclaimed, "You're the pervy sage." Before cancelling the jutsu, making Jiraiya face-fault. As he felt intense concentrations of Kai, Jiraiya froze in dread before a dozen pissed-off towel, underwear and bathers-clad Kunoichi beat the crap out of him. "Why did you have to do that to me, kid? Instead of peeping in every hot spring and bathhouse across the nations, you should be looking after Naruto, you know." Jiraiya stiffened, "How do you know about my dead godson?" "I'm not dead, I'm standing right in front of you, you know." Shaken, Jiraiya fell to his knees as tears ran down his cheek. "Oh, Kami, you're alive. I'm so sorry I haven't been here. If I'd known you were alive, I'd have been here taking care of you instead of abroad managing Konoha's spy network. I'll forgive you if you train me, make up for lost time, and teach me Fuinjutsu. After all, you're currently the only fully trained seal master in the village. Deal, and I don't suppose you know any gorgeous women." "I know several, and I sensed a few of them on the side of the wall you were peeping on." "This isn't how I wanted to meet you." "Who told you I was dead in the first place, and why did you believe them?" "If it was true, Hiruzen would have told you in person and had you return to verify the body and attend the funeral." "The council told me." "You mean Danzo team lied, like the politician and manipulative piece of trash he is. The civilian council shouldn't have known about you being my godfather. And the clan heads wouldn't dare lie about something like this if they knew, especially not the Inyazuka clan." "Got that right, cutie." Agreed Tsum as she appeared in two towels, one wrapped around her waist and the other around her chest as a makeshift top. "Pervy sage, if you try peeping on Tsumheim or any other of my precious people, especially to get inspiration for your smut, I'll put you under a jinjutsu that shows you Mido Guy's Colgate smile and the sunset technique on a loop for 72 hours. And there'll be 1,000 of him, oiled up and naked," threatened Naruto. Tsum erupted into feral laughter at the horror on Jiraiya's face. "If you get any paler, you're going to look like your pedophilic psycho ex-teammate, Orochimaru team," teased Uzumaki, "you know. I'll still be more handsome than him. By the way, Hiruzen wants to see you, so don't get lost on the path of life on the way to his office," said Uzumaki. "You have 2 minutes before he sends Anbu to bring you by force. Or I can deliver you via airmail." "What do you mean by that?" asked Jiraiya, who was lifted off the ground by an invisible force. "Ah. Lining up Jireya's trajectory with the Hokage's tower and office, with him facing towards said office, Naruto grinned, almighty push. Before the lecherous sage blasted off like Team Rocket. That was hilarious, Naru-kun. Mused Tsume, who was laughing so hard whilst her impressive perky round DD cup breasts jiggled that her towels came undone, giving him a perfect view of her naked body, which thankfully nobody else was around to see. As time around him seemingly froze, he re-wrapped her towels around her whilst admiring her figure and used a couple of safety pins to keep the towels from coming undone again. As time resumed, Tsume raised an eyebrow. I could swear my towels just fell off. They did, but I used super speed to fix that. Oh? Did you take a peek and have a nice feel of these in the process? She asked, gesturing to her tits. Briefly, while wrapping the top towel around you to cover them back up. If you don't mind me saying, they're very well developed, nice and firm with soft skin. I found seeing them pleasant, especially up close. Uzumaki gave the cutest smile, and you're one haluva damn sexy bitch with mesmerizing eyes, curves in all the right places, a fine ass and beautiful breasts, my dear Tsume-chan. Grinning with flushed cheeks, the feral woman laughed, only you could say something like that to my face, at almost 7 years old, look like an innocent little angel in the process, and live to tell the tale. His cheeks flushed, thanks, Tsume-chan. You're welcome, Naru-kun, snickered Tsume, and it's a bit too soon to be thinking about women's bodies, isn't it? It's a little late to ask that. True, and Kushina had no verbal filter when it came to compliments that others might think were a bit much. I have an idea for an anti-pervert jutsu that's also an upgraded version of the henge. But I'd probably be mistaken for a pervert while developing or using it. Oh? What's it gonna do? Turn you into a naked woman? Naruto shrugged, well if it works. The next day. Interior. Konoha, Ninja Academy, late morning. Taking the roll, Iruka called Naruto Uzumaki. Before falling backwards off of his chair, an alarm as a kunai with a tag attached flew into the back of his clipboard, making most of the class laugh. Reading the tag as he got to his feet, Iruka saw Naruto in the back row, with a camera. Good morning to you too. What do you mean? Do you mean to wish me a good morning? Or that it is a good morning whether I want it or not? Asked Naruto, earning raised eyebrows, or perhaps you mean to say you feel good on this particular morning? Or are you stating this is a morning to be good on? All of them at once. Replied Iruka as he scratched the back of his head, and please don't throw kunai at me in answer to your name being called. Before an origami bird landed on his desk. I was using non-verbal means of communication. Right. As Iruka lectured the class on the Kyuubi attack, Naruto, with Kurama watching from his mindscape with popcorn, raised his hand. Iruka-sensei, was the Yondaime Hokage intentionally being monumentally stupid? Earning stunned expressions whilst Kara erupted into laughter. Excuse me? Asked Iruka, aghast. There's a universal balance of power between both the Bijuu and between the shinobi villages. One can't truly kill a Bijuu. They're literally sentient masses of pure chakra with physical form. The most you can do is make them go through a regeneration cycle, since they're immortal. Where are you going with this? Every other village to encounter them seals Bijuu away, often inside people. If Yondaime-sama was reckless enough to do the former with the strongest of the 9, he left Konoha significantly vulnerable to invasion from other villages, like Iwa and their Bijuu in the wake of us losing him, a large number of shinobi, and the fox, as our way of telling them to back off. What do you mean they seal Bijuu inside people? Asked Choji, curious. Some of the most complex and advanced seals can seal a Bijuu inside a person. And even allow that person to eventually harness the Bijuu's chakra. Such people are often called Jinchuriki, the power of human sacrifice, elaborated Naruto. Bijuu are typically sealed inside babies, ideally newborns, since their chakra network and coils haven't developed yet. That way, they'll have time for their chakra coils to adapt during development so they can handle Bijuu chakra as well as their own. We don't even teach sealing at the academy. How do you know about something like that? Asked Iruka, jaw dropped. Better question. Why in the name of the Sage of Six Paths isn't Fuinjutsu taught at the Ninja Academy? It's one of the most useful, powerful and invaluable skills ever. And there are so many types of seals for different uses. Security, protection, surveillance, demolition, traps, transportation. Storage, training, healing, incapacitating enemies, weapons. Chakra control and suppression, resistance, endurance, maintenance, etc. Why wouldn't we be taught something so important? Interior. Konoha, Hokage Tower, office, late morning. Hiruzen, Jiraiya, Kakashi and a handful of anbu were watching Uzumaki through the crystal ball. He just roasted his own father and our academy's curriculum. Thought Hiruzen, Jiraiya and Kakashi. Later. Interior. Konoha, private council building, meeting room, early evening. The civilian council conspired, blissfully unaware of the fact everything they said and did was overheard, scribed and recorded by undetectable observers. Chapter 3. Meeting other Jinchuriki. Interior. Konoha, Hokage Tower, office, afternoon. As he shunshined onto Hiruzen's desk, facing towards a huge muscular heavyweight champion of a man in an open white haori, Naruto scowled, "Watch that temper when addressing Hokage Jiji, or I'll punch you in the face." Lord A. The fourth Raikage laughed heartily until he realized Uzumaki wasn't joking. Nonchalantly, Naruto gave an uppercut to the jaw with a chakra-enhanced fist, Shoryuken, sending him into the air before landing on his back. Rubbing his jaw as he got up, A asked, "Boy, can't you tell I'm the Raikage?" "That's why I pulled my punch, Lord WrestleMania," answered Naruto, earning stifled laughter from a little girl, Naruto's age, with blonde hair and blue eyes, accompanied by Karabiaka Killer B. "And you wanted to punch me because one of your shinobi, or at least someone in Kumo shinobi gear, tried to kidnap a friend of mine," answered Naruto, whose hair defied gravity and spiked up. It was always going to end badly. Then he gave a sweet smile with his eyes closed. "You know. Hiruzen, is this Kushina's boy?" questioned A, having flashbacks about the redeeted woman. "Yo, bro, it's an unspoken thing to know, he may not know who's friend or foe," chimed in B. "Kumo and Konoha ain't always get along though they're like brothers. I'm asking because both of us are among his godfathers, if he is Kushina's son." Stepping off the desk, Naruto approached the little girl. "Hi, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. What's your N?" Pouncing on Uzumaki like a cat, the girl pinned him beneath her on the floor and purred, "I'm Yujito Nai," before he turned the tables, pinned her down, lifted her shirt and tickled her midriff, making her burst into giggles and smiles whilst squirming beneath him before the two kids looked each other in the eyes with kind smiles. "Cats really do have ticklish bellies," joked Naruto. "Especially me," replied Yujito, with a cute smile. Helping her to her feet, Naruto asked, "Will you be my friend, Yujito-chan?" "I'd love to if you'll be my friend too, Naru-kun." Naruto turned to the Raikage, "If you and B. Nyasin would humble me with training, I would be greatly honored, A-sama. As long as you don't use anything you learn from us against Kumo in the next war, if there is one with each other as opponents. I will accept your terms on the condition that Kumo never tries stealing bloodlines from Konoha again," said Naruto, whose hair defied gravity. "It just won't end well for you, you know. Especially when I enter the equation." "No doubt about it. You're definitely Kushina's boy." Only Naruto could threaten a cage without causing a political nightmare. Sighed Iruka, who'd overheard the whole thing upon entry. "Who's causing a political nightmare?" asked Danzo Shimura as he entered. At the same time, Naruto and Yujito screamed, "Help. Pedophile alert." B. Iruka, the Hokage's anbu and the Raikage's bodyguards, immediately assumed a protective formation in front of the kids, and the two Kage glared at Danzo. "I'm not a," began Shimura. "Then why, before the orphanage threw me out, were you always having unsupervised one-on-one time with little kids who then go missing, die under mysterious circumstances, or come back either traumatized, injured, or with no soul in their eyes?" asked Naruto. "You never adopted any of them, and the ones who'd come back would scream for you to stay away from them while having nightmares. Most of them were orphans with signs of having a bloodline Akakeke Genkai. How do you even know what a Keke Genkai is?" "Really? You're asking an academy student that question? Wow, you're not just a pedophile, you're a senile pedophile." Danzo turned away and stormed out of the room, cursing under his breath. 6 years later. Interior. Land of Water, within Kiri's border, missing Nin bandit camp, evening. Having taken out the entire camp of 1,000 bandits, Yami Kitsune, age 12, lifted his mask and gave a precious smile, making Miko and Tenzo sweat drop before covering his face again. "Pack anything of value or interest into storage scrolls. If any of the bandits have a bingo book entry, pack away their corpse for delivery to a collection office," ordered Nico before the task was completed in a flash. "You're a long way from home," said a Kiri shinobi as he arrived with several of his village's special forces. Yami Kitsune studied the Kiri squad's leader, gravity-defying silver hair, one eye covered, most likely a Battis, and possesses a Dojutsu he wasn't born with in the covered eye. "You must be the infamous Kakashi Haddock." The Kiri nins faulted whilst Yami Kitsune's comrade sweat dropped. "I'm Commander Ao of the Kiri Anbu, and it's actually blue hair," self-identified Ao. "Who are you?" "I am Yami Kitsune." "What's your business here?" "I'm not at liberty to say, Commander." "Now, if you'll excuse us, we'll take our leave." "Just a moment, my sword, Samahata, seems to like the little fox's chakra," said a shark-like shinobi as he brandished said sword. "Put it away, kiss him," ordered a Kiri nin wearing bandages as a mask, with a broadsword resembling a butcher's knife across his back, picking a fight with the kids beneath us. "You're no fun, Zabuza." "He's not a kid, he's a shinobi." And he'd have to be pretty strong to be in the anbu when he's so small. Permission to socialize with the 7 swordsmen? Asked Yami Kitsune as he looked at his mission squad leader. Tenzo nodded, granted, Yami Kitsune. Isam Hashigaki and Zabuza Mamachi, Yami Kitsune greeted, I'm honored to meet you and the rest of your comrades. Thanks, and I look forward to hearing what feats you accomplish in the future, replied Zabuza, since you're the only one covered in blood, I take it all this was your handiwork. Yes. I think I'm going to like this kid, mused Kisum, how's your form with that sword? I could show you a few moves, and a spar might do you some good. I would be honored to learn from one of the 7. Zabuza chuckled, make that 2. This is where the fun begins. Mused Yami Kitsune as he drew his sword, taking a Suresu stance as he infused chakra into the blade which emitted a vibrant hum and glowed blue. Interesting choice, Kit. Observed Zabuza, taking his own stance. Were these bandits meant to be anyone special? I didn't waste time talking to them. One of them stole one of our swords, stated Kisum, embarrassed. Taking a uniquely designed sword from a storage scroll, Yami Kitsune held it out, the sword. Earning a nod. Would you mind returning it? Asked Ao before catching the hilt which was levitated towards him by Yami Kitsune. Resuming his stance, alongside 6 wood clones, Yami Kitsune locked eyes with the shinobi swordsman of Kiri, shall we dance? Before he and his clones gracefully engaged their opponents in a duel. When they finished their duel, Yami Kitsune dispelled his clones and caught his breath, that was fun, then noticed a young man with pupilless pink eyes, staring at him, what is it, kid? Kid? I'm 24 years old. I'm an adult. I'm Yugura Karatachi. Yonde Mizukage. Shouted Yugura, I'm very distinguished. And enjoying the paperwork. Teased Yami Kitsune, making Yugura facifault whilst everyone stifled laughter. I'm having deja vu, telepathically said Kara, he's not the first Jinchuriki I've run into who wanted to be a kage. But he's the first to become one. He's Asobu's Jinchuriki, right? Thought Naruto. Yes. Think he knows I'm your Jinchuriki? Most likely, and I sense he wants to fight you. Yami Kitsune, said Yugura who drew his hook staff, prepare to defend yourself. Causing everyone to tense. With his energy replenished by gathering nature energy, Yami Kitsune readied a Kenjutsu stance and focused wind chakra into his blade, is this because I called you a kid? Or the paperwork remark? No. Then why do you, the Mizukage, want to fight a random anbu? You're hardly random, Yami Kitsune. You held your own against the 7 shinobi swordsmen. Because I did my research on each of them and their swords in case I ran into them. Deadpanned Yami Kitsune, my sword versus your staff, no jutsu. Before Yugura nodded. Don't know how we're going to explain this in our report, sighed Nico, first mission out here, as a full anbu, and he ends up fighting the Mizukage and the 7 swordsmen of Kiri. As soon as they're finished sparring, we're leaving. Stated Tenzo who paled, oh, no. While Yugura activated his one-tailed cloak, using the 3 tails chakra to power his Gyro strikes, Yami Kitsune transitioned from his current Kenjutsu form to the tranquil and meditative Naiman. Later. Exterior. Land of Water, Team Rose campsite, late evening. I'm sorry, did you just say that Yami Kitsune dueled the Mizukage? Questioned Inu as he received their report. In my defense, he challenged me to a duel. I didn't deny him, lest I risk causing an international incident. A week later. Interior. Konoha, Military Police HQ, evening. As Yami Kitsune brought in a handful of scum, Fugaku asked, where did you find them? Alleyway outside Ichiraku Ramen. 2 were assaulting the owner, Tucci, and the other 4 of them were trying to force themselves on his daughter, AM, answered Yami Kitsune. Are they alright? They will be. Dr. Makoto and Dr. Yugao are looking after them. A week later. Interior. Land of Fire, Warlord Stronghold, Dungeon, late evening. Any idea why this kid's so valuable? Asked one of the guards, she's just some orphan, isn't she? As they guarded a cell containing a small girl, age 7, with mint green hair and orange eyes, chained and suspended against a wall. Lord Orochimaru says she's the vessel for the 7 tails. Won't someone come for her? Asked one of the guards. They wouldn't know where to look, answered another guard, even if they did, who'd come to rescue a demon's vessel. Another of her kind, the Yellow Flash, or the Rakage would. We won't live long enough for the I told you so if that happens. Interior. Fuse Mindscape. The approaching chakra signatures I'm sensing feel so familiar. One's Kara-chan, but who's with her? Wondered Chimei as she recalled, it feels like Minato-kun and Kushina Haim, but I thought they were dead. Maybe they had a child, and that's who's coming. Suggested Fu. That'd explain why the chakra presence feels like both of them. But I also sense the power of the 6 paths, Indra and Ashura. Interior. Warlord Stronghold, Dungeon, evening. Unlocking the barred cell door after taking out the guards in a yellow flash, Yami Kitsune freed Fu and caught her in his arms as she fell from her suspension. Awakening to find herself in Naruto's arms, looking into his eyes as he'd removed his mask, she asked, "Who are you?" "A friend who's come to rescue you." "What's your name, little Haim?" She blushed at being called a princess. "I'm Fu. We'll move faster if I carry you." "Is that okay, sweetie?" he asked in a gentle tone, as though he were speaking to a younger sibling or his own child. Wrapping her arms around his neck as he held her, Fu felt warm and fuzzy inside. Exterior. Land of Fire, Anbu campsite, cabin, afternoon. Appearing in a yellow flash with his new friend, in front of Kakashi, Naruto informed, "Captain, my mission is complete. Fu-chan is safe," before gently setting the girl down on her feet. "You removed your mask. You know that's against protocol, Yami Kitsune." I sensed her fear and she wasn't conscious when I found her. She needed to see a friendly face when she woke up instead of my scary mask. "That's reasonable. Since we're both Jinchuriki, can I know your name?" asked Fu as she looked up at the whiskered Anbu. Receiving a nod of permission, Naruto answered, "I'm Naruto." Fu beamed, tightly hugging Uzumaki. "Nice to meet you, Naichin." "Likewise, my treasured little sister," said Uzumaki as he returned the warm embrace, reassuring Fu that she was indeed safe and protected. "When we get you home, you and I are definitely keeping in touch. I know people like us aren't that popular or treated very well. It can be lonely and painful without someone to talk to. The paths we walk bearing the responsibility we've been entrusted with may tempt us towards the darkness. But I will not allow that darkness to claim or consume you. I love you too, Naichin," happily said Fu, "and I'd love to stay in touch." "So would I." "Oh, they're so cute and it's like they've known each other forever," mused Nico and Canary as they watched from nearby. Later. Exterior. Land of Fire, Taki, waterfall, evening. Carrying the soundly sleeping Fu as she rested her head against his chest, Yami Kitsune was stopped by a handful of Jonin and Chunin. "Please don't wake her. This precious little bundle of joy has been through quite the ordeal and needs her rest as well as some time to process what happened. Some counseling might be a good idea too." "Who are you?" demanded Shibuki. "Fu-chan's very protective older brother," answered Yami Kitsune. "I urgently need to speak with your leader." "Well, here I am, and what's this about?" Fu-chan's abduction wasn't at random. Her abductors were servants of Orochimaru. And they knew about Lucky 7. Several days later. Interior. Land of Fire, small town, hotel room, living room, evening. As he quietly infiltrated the room, Yami Kitsune looked at a busty blonde seemingly in her 30s, a girl in her early teens, and a pig. "Hello there." Startled as she whirled around, standing protectively in front of Shizune, Tsunade demanded, "Who are you?" Removing his mask as he stepped into the light, Naruto answered, "I'm Kushina and Minato's son." Embracing him, Tsunade wept, "Naruto, how is this possible? I was told that you died with your parents. Of course those bastard elders told you that. They also kept Jiraiya away as much as they could when he found out I was alive. They kept both of you away from me because I'm the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. How have you been treated by the village?" asked Tsunade, concerned upon hearing the word Jinchuriki. "Have you been well taken care of?" "I found out my heritage from Kurama-chan Aka the Kyuubi, who's a girl by the way, since Hiruzen wouldn't tell me and made it all a secret. I was kicked out of the orphanage in the middle of winter when I was 3. The civilians think I'm Kyuubi in human form and have tried to kill me thousands of times because of that stupidity. The shopkeepers overcharge me for anything and everything if they even let me inside their stores. The civilian council's been trying to sabotage my education and block me from graduating the academy. The civilians treat me like a pariah. And my medical history has its own room. That does it. I'm returning to Konoha with you, for good. I'm sure Sandane will be thrilled to see you. And further training in medical jutsu would be appreciated if you're willing to teach me." "Of course I will, but doesn't being a Jinchuriki make it impossible for you to use healing chakra?" "Interestingly enough, I seem to be the exception. I suspect my sage training and bearing the Rinnegan is responsible." Tsunade froze. "Did you just say Rinnegan?" Before he showed her his Dojutsu. "By the way, you owe me 12 years worth of birthday presents, Grandma." "Cheeky brat," chuckled Princess Enju as she ruffled Naruto's hair. "I take after my mum." "You certainly do. By the way, I forgive you for your absence. And I love you, Grandma." "I love you too, sweetie," mused Tsunade, who kissed his forehead, then placed a necklace around his neck. "This was going to be given to you on the day you were born." Later. Interior. Konoha, Hokage's tower, office, conference room, morning. Entering with Hiruzen, Tsunade and Jiraiya stood before the council with a furious scowl. Raven, Crow, Inu, Canary and Yami Kitsune watched from the shadows. "Tsunade, Jiraiya, welcome," began Danzo, who received a punch to the face, sending him flying across the room. "How dare you?" growled Tsunade, how dare you bastards lie to us about my grandson. About Jiraiya's godson. How dare you lie to us and tell us he was dead. Who is this grandson you speak of? Don't play dumb with me, you piece of shit. You know damn well I mean Naruto Uzumaki. Bellowed Tsunade, shocking the council, and I know exactly what you bastards have been putting him through. Do you have any proof of relations? Sneered a civilian council member, how do we know this isn't some trick by the demon? How do we know he hasn't corrupted you? The only corruption here is spread by the greed of the civilian council, scoffed Jiraiya. Tsunade and I are both aware of Naruto's situation, and we are furious and appalled by this village's treatment of him. Minato would be ashamed and disgusted. He wanted Naruto to be seen as a hero and the savior of the village. Not for him to be abused, hated, ostracized, discriminated against, and made a pariah and scapegoat. The Ondane would have wanted began a civilian. I raised and trained Minato as though he were my own son. Bellowed Jiraiya, don't you dare claim to know what Minato would want better than I do. He entrusted Naruto with a heavy burden and responsibility that none of you can begin to imagine the weight of carrying. People like you disgrace Minato's memory every time you harm, insult, abuse and mistreat Naruto. Effective immediately, Naruto's now under mine and Jiraiya's legal guardianship as we're his family. Asserted Tsunade, her kai flaring. About time this happened. Agreed Fugaku, many of the clans have expressed interest in adopting Naruto in your absence, though I know how inappropriate it would have been if mine did so, for reasons I need not specify. Fair enough. Of course the demon controllers would want their pet demon back. Sneered a civilian, I bet the Uchiha were behind the whole thing. Why else wouldn't they have done anything to stop the beast in its rampage? And why else would they always protect the reborn demon fox from his punishment? Before Yami Kitsune decapitated them. Hiruzen turned to the civilians, get out. Ibuki began, but. Get out of my sight. Roared Hiruzen before the civilian council were forcibly removed from the building. We weren't on the front lines of the attack because we had orders to evacuate the people to the shelters and because Danzo was already accusing us of being behind the attack. Clarified Fugaku, in fact, he was so quick to accuse us one might think he was trying to divert suspicion away from himself. That's quite the accusation, Uchiha. Where's your evidence? Asked Danzo. Where's yours for your accusation? The orchestrator had the Sharingan. So does Kakashi Haddock, yet I don't recall anyone accusing or blaming him. Members of my clan died that night as well. They were found with wounds consistent with tipless tanto blades and their eyes missing. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you, Danzo team? Seeing where this was going, Hiashi stared at Danzo, activated his Byakugan, then rose to his feet. Danzo has a Sharingan eye under his bandages. In righteous fury as he approached, leaking Kai, Fugaku slammed Danzo against a wall, pinned him, and reclaimed the stolen eye. How dare you steal the Sharingan? It was in the village's best interests, stated Danzo, stoic. No, Danzo team, it was for your own ambitions and lust for power. Accused Fugaku, all these years, you've kept requesting to induct young Uzumaki into the Foundation, your Route 2.0. And now we discover you're in possession of stolen Sharingan eyes. It's quite clear what your intentions have been for both the boy and the eyes you've stolen from the very start. As if you yourself haven't thought about using your visual prowess to control a Jinchuriki and their tailed beast, Wicked Eye Fugaku. I am neither you nor Madara. And I won't let you harm or use the child as your weapon. Enough. Shouted Hiruzen, leaking Kai, Danzo, you're to return all Sharingan eyes in your possession. Fugaku, please consider the possible long-term repercussions if you were to kill Danzo before doing so. Given the current circumstances, killing him like this would only make people think he was right. Unhappy but knowing Hiruzen was correct, Fugaku gave a final stare at Danzo before returning to his seat. I don't like this, Lord Hokage. We have Dojutsu theft laws, and Danzo's broken them. As Danzo and the elders were forcefully removed from the room, Hiruzen sighed, I hope things don't get out of hand when the rest of your clan finds out. They're about to learn someone with open prejudice against them has murdered an unspecified number of their own and stolen their Kekkei Genkai. Stated Fugaku, they'll be furious and outraged. Especially the elders. They may very well see this as the village stabbing us in the back and launching a preemptive strike against the clan. If the latter, they will undoubtedly wish to retaliate in some fashion. This is going to be so damn troublesome, groaned Shikaku. Agreed. Later. Interior. Konoha, Uchiha compound, meeting hall, early evening. As Fugaku informed his clan of the thievery, he felt a chilling presence watching from the shadows. If we don't strike back against the village soon, they'll wipe us out. Shouted an elder. We could find the Jinchuriki and use our visual prowess to control him so he fights our enemies for us. Suggested another elder. The Sharingan controlling a Bijuu is how we all ended up in this situation in the first place. Reminded Fugaku, and none of you are to lay a finger or Genjutsu upon the boy. We're already suspected of being behind one Biju attack. It would only make matters worse for everyone if we actually caused one. And what would we accomplish if we went through with such a careless plan? Asked Izumi, our own extinction. A civil war sparking a fourth great ninja war. Proving Danzo and people like him right. Who asked for your opinion, you half-breed trash. Sneered another clan member before a firm hand gripped their shoulder. Apologize to my daughter-in-law for your disrespect, now. Commanded Fugaku. Later. Interior. Konoha, Ichiha compound, Fugaku's house, dining room, evening. How was the academy, Sasuke? Asked Mikoto, whilst dishing up. It was alright, but fangirls are so annoying, especially that Haruno girl. And I don't really know what to think of Naruto. He's nice enough for an outsider, but he always holds back against everyone during sparring. Answered Sasuke, although not as much against teachers who are mean to him. Sometimes the display of one's own power and skill depends on those of their opponent, chimed in Fugaku, and they were likely going all out against him if they really despise him. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Later. Exterior. Land of Rain, rendezvous point, early afternoon. Arriving invisibly, Naruto, in his uniform, saw an army of mercenaries, shinobi en route, led by Hanzo of the Salamander, holding a blue-haired woman hostage Jiraiya, and two figures in black robes with red clouds, stood across from them. Hanzo. You will release Konan right now, or so help me, began one of the cloaked figures. You'll what, Yahiko of the Akatsuki. Deadpanned Hanzo. Then there was a yellow flash as Konan was suddenly free, standing next to her friends, whilst Hanzo's allies dropped dead. Naruto appeared in front of Jiraiya and his companions, with his back to them. You who used a flying Raijin, step forward and identify yourself. Requested Hanzo, removing his mask. Naruto glared with his Rinnegan. I am Naruto Uzumaki Senju. I hereby christen you Raijin's wrath. I shall remember you. Declared Hanzo before Naruto cut him down in a flash, severed and sealed away his head, and burnt the rest of his body, whilst blowing away his poisonous gas with wind style. Naruto turned towards his grandfather, Lord Hokage, and Fire Lord Zuko personally sent me to aid you. The Fire Lord and Hokage sent you. Why would they help us? Asked Konan. Isn't all of this the Leaf's fault? Only Danzo Shimura is responsible. He neither acts for nor speaks for anyone in Konoha or the Land of Fire. He's a war criminal in the eyes of both. So, what are you going to do about this, Danzo? Asked Yahiko. I have a few ideas. In the meantime, I must return to Konoha. However, summons will act as our messengers to inform you and Jiraiya-sensei when Danzo's been dealt with. Answered Naruto before he vanished in a flash. Exterior. Land of Fire, Konoha, Anbu outpost, evening. As 30 root agents appeared, they drew their tipless tantos and moved to attack Yami Kitsune before being cut down in a flash, then the corpses were turned to mere grains of ash. Captain Yami Kitsune, are you out of your mind? Asked Hibiki as he arrived moments prior. You just killed Anbu personnel. Danzo's route and the Foundation have been outlawed by personal decree of Fire Lord Zuko himself, along with the other lords and daimyos. Furthermore, anyone operating under their banners or orders from Danzo Shimura are to be considered an enemy of the Land of Fire and its allies, and a traitor, replied Yami Kitsune, who handed over a document. Danzo would never let such a decree become public knowledge. I was personally summoned to retrieve the documents by the Fire Lord. Root's been trying to intercept me the entire way back. The other feudal lords already know, and I'm sure the other cage will have heard from them by now. You really are a headache. You know that, right? Asked Hibiki. I'm a post-sex headache, quipped Yami Kitsune. The end result of a damn good time. Earning amused expressions from his masked comrades. Kara, through her mental link to Naruto, burst into laughter. Interior. Konoha, Danzo's office, early evening. Realizing something was blocking him from using his voice, chakra, and stolen eyes, Danzo's eyes widened in dread upon seeing Yami Kitsune, and his Rinnegan. As time around him slowed, Naruto decapitated Danzo, ripped out and destroyed all of the stolen Sharingans, then sealed the corpse in a scroll and numerous files into others. Interior. Undisclosed location, Bounty Collection Office, early evening morgue. Naruto dumped Danzo's head on a table before receiving a handsome payment for the bounty, then vanished. Exterior. Land of Fire, forest, late evening. Yami Kitsune had tracked a handful of Jonin-level missing nins who walked in formation with their hostage, a little girl, in the middle. She was gagged, her wrists and elbows were tied behind her back. She had fair skin, pale eyes and long dark hair, and wore black pants, a tank top and sandals. It was Hanabi Hyuga. Shadow Mist Jutsu, whispered Yami Kitsune, covering the area in a thick pitch black mist before he substituted with Hanabi and eliminated her captors by combining the Shunshin and silent killing. When the mist cleared, Yami Kitsune sheathed his sword, turned towards Hanabi, who was on her knees with fear in her eyes. He slowly approached her, knelt down, and ungagged her. Are you okay? Who are you? Yami Kitsune, Anbu Black Ops, answered Yami Kitsune as he severed her bonds and helped her to her feet. Now, let's get going. I'll escort you home. Do you even know who I am? A snippy little firecracker, he teased. Hey. She indignantly protested before he lifted her into his arms as if carrying a baby. What the? Put me down. I will when I get you home. He dismissed before they vanished in a flash. Interior. Konoha, Hyuga Compound, Hiyashi's house, study, late evening. Appearing out of nowhere, Yami Kitsune gently set Hanabi down on her feet before noticing Hiyashi seated at his desk. Rising to his feet as his youngest daughter hugged him, Hiyashi smiled. Thank you for saving Hanabi-chan. Happy to help, Hiyashi-san. Said Yami Kitsune, who gestured to Hanabi. Take good care of the little firecracker and Hinata-chan. I shall try my best, Naruto-san. With a sigh, Naruto removed his mask, then gave a small smile as Hanabi ran into his arms. You be a good girl and take care of yourself and your precious people, okay, little firecracker? Okay, Naruto-san. Naruto planted a kiss upon her forehead. Amused, Hiyashi smiled. Hinata-chan will be pleased to know you get along with her friend. And you'll need to keep his secret, for Anbu aren't supposed to share their identities. Father, I want to be a shinobi even more now. Like Hinata-san and Naruto-san. What about Naruto-kun? Asked Hinata as she walked in to find her Hanabi with a mask. Anbu and her father, then hugged her sister. Hanabi-chan, thank goodness, are you alright? What happened to the kidnappers? Naruto-san happened. They rescued Hanabi-chan and safely returned her to us. Hanabi-chan seems to have taken Naruto-san as her elder brother. Explained Hiyashi, he even gave her the endearing nickname of Little Firecracker. Oh, that's so cute. Mused Hinata. Nichan, can I sleep next to you tonight? Asked Hanabi. Of course you can, Nabi-chan. Clearing his throat, Yami Kitsune met Hiyashi's gaze. If that'll be all, I'll take my leave, Hiyashi-san. Thank you, Yami Kitsune. That'll be all. Hiyashi informed the younger man. Take good care of each other, Hiyashi-san, Hinata-chan, little firecracker. Farewell, Yami Kitsune, who vanished. A few weeks later. Exterior. Konoha, forest, Naruto's campsite, early sunset. Traveling with his longtime friend, a red-headed bearded man approached the campsite. What are you doing out here by yourself, kiddo? His companion was a tall, imposing man, with pupilless light brown eyes and no eyebrows, in crimson-plated armor and a black, sleeveless guy, a heat-resistant face mask that covered his neck, a conical straw hat with white cloth covering both sides of his face, blacksmith gloves, and armored boots. I'm camping and cooking my dinner, Rashi of the lava release and Han of the boil release, stated Naruto, in casual clothes and his natural red form, as he checked on some salmon he'd been smoking. And who might you be? Asked Han, kind but reserved. Name's Naruto. You're in Uzumaki, aren't you? Inquired Han, studying the boy's features. Just like both of you. Answered Naruto, earning widened eyes. You're Kushina Amado's son, aren't you? Inquired Rashi. Naru-kun, you can trust these two. They're the Jinchuriki for Son Goku and Kakuo, and the Uzumaki were as loyal to each other as the Inuzuka. Informed Kara. So, what brings you two so close to Konoha? Wondered Naruto, making two seats for them, with wood style, to the surprise of Han and Rashi. You both look like you've had a long day. Take a load off and rest a while. Pervy Sage will be back in a minute and I'm sure he'll want to chat. The Pervy Sage? Asked Rashi, trying not to laugh. Jiraiya of the Sannin. Answered Naruto, making the two older Jinchuriki laugh as the sage stepped into view. Chapter 4. Uchiha Clan's Fall. Later. Interior. Konoha, Forbidden Archives, Vault, early evening. Mizuki approached the Forbidden Scroll, then found himself unable to move. Appearing, Yami Kitsune executed Mizuki using a shorter, more refined, precise and compressed lightning blade made of black lightning. Interior. Konoha, Ichiraku Ramen, morning. As he joined blonde Naruto, Shikamaru asked, how's being a genin on the reserves list going? Oh, if you only knew, Shika, thought Uzumaki, who shrugged. I have lots of time to focus on my training, honing my skills, and my studies for when I eventually get a team. Sounds exhausting. I've become quite popular with many of the jonins, Takubetsu jonins and anbu, since they're often offering useful advice, tips and suggestions, sometimes even sparring and training with me. Sounds like things are looking up for you. And it's good to know you're doing well. Yeah, I've even been training in Senjutsu, and began Naruto, whose eyes widened. That's how I do it. I should have realized that ages ago. Huh? Realized what? Asked Shikamaru, confused. I can use Sage Chakra to destroy curse marks like the Curse Seal of Heaven. Isn't that the one Orochimaru marks people with? Yep, and I have a promise to keep. Confirmed Naruto, who paid for his meal, then vanished in a shunshin. Shikamaru smiled. I hope whatever you're about to do works, you troublesome Uzumaki. Later. Interior. Konoha, Shinobi District, apartment building owned by Naruto, Kurenai Anko's loft, bedroom, late morning. As she sat on the bed with Naruto, Anko asked, "So, how do you remove the curse mark, Naru-kun?" "Well, first I need a clear view of it," replied Uzumaki, age 13, "I'm going to use Sage Chakra to purge you of the curse seal." "Oh, I'm gonna show you more than my curse mark," she flirtatiously teased as she seductively stripped off her shirt and an alluring purple bra, then jiggled her breasts with her hands. "Will you break sexy Anko-chan's curse, now that she's brought her titties out to play?" "Please, Naru-kun." "As you wish." As his right index and middle finger glowed golden, Naruto, in sage mode, pressed them against her curse mark, which dissipated whilst she felt a soothing warmth throughout her body, which healed every injury she'd ever taken and corrected improperly healed ones, whilst making her moan and shudder in pleasure. When he finished, she brought him into a close embrace, his face buried in her cleavage. "Thank you, thank you, thank you," before kissing him. "You're the best, Naruto-kun. You're one of my most precious and treasured people, you know. I love you, Anko-hime. I love you too, Naru-kun. And it's probably weird timing, but you haven't started your seduction and seduction resistance training. Today's your first lesson." "Who's in charge of today's lesson?" asked Naruto. Kurenai entered, wearing an alluring crimson dress, emblazoned with a blackthorn pattern that clung snugly to her figure and revealed a generous view of her cleavage, and black nylon stockings, both myself and Anko-chan. "You're on your own, Naru-kun. I'm not helping you resist these sexy vixens, but I'm going to enjoy the show," informed Kara through her and Naruto's mental link. Uzumaki turned to Kurenai, "Something tells me this will be especially difficult since I wouldn't mind you seducing me." Kurenai giggled, "Good to know, Naruto-kun. I have a feeling this'll be a greater challenge than fighting the Yonde Mizukage again. I'll be sure to ask about that later." The next day. Interior. Konoha, Uchiha compound, Itachi's house, Fugaku's study, morning. Ensuring he and Itachi were in private, Fugaku instructed, "My son, you must portray yourself as becoming disillusioned with the clan to create doubt in those pro-insurrection. While I cannot bring myself to shed my family's blood, even to protect my godson, I know you will do what you must. If the clan won't call off their plans for a coup d'etat, you and those you can trust to aid you must be the ones to stop those involved. I already know who I can convince to assist me, though I have encountered someone from our clan who was believed dead who I'm certain will help if asked." "Who is this long-lost Uchiha you've encountered?" "It is not our place to tell Kakashi, but it is Obito who now calls himself Tobi. Though he claims to have encountered a masked man claiming to be Madara Uchiha." Fugaku paled, "If Madara is indeed alive, he will want the entire Uchiha clan eradicated. I will face him myself should he come and protect my clan from him or die trying." "How will you stand up to his Mangekyo Sharingan?" asked Itachi, then Fugaku's eyes changed. "I see you have it like Shisui and I before his own Mangekyo activated." "Son, don't use those eyes unless absolutely necessary. I've never needed to use mine's abilities and I've kept it a secret," stated Fugaku as they turned off their Sharingans. "I also know your comrade, Yami Kitsune, bears the Rinnegan. He should assist you in the coming battle if it cannot be prevented." "He's been here the whole time," stated Itachi, surprising Fugaku, "haven't you, Naruto?" Appearing out of thin air, Uzumaki deadpanned, "I have a codename for a reason, you know. It was supposed to be classified information. I already knew, given I was there when they placed your appearance-changing seals." "Makes sense," exhaled Naruto, in his redeed form, "but I sense intense hidden guilt from you. Something I should be aware of." "Yes, a few things that will make you hate the Uchiha as much as Tobirama Senju was said to before the founding of the village. And I have some things to return to the Uzumaki and Senju." Naruto raised an eyebrow, "I think we should continue this conversation somewhere far away from your clan compound in case I react impulsively or violently. Also, my tenant's hatred for your clan due to the actions of Madara may be unintentionally sent through her chakra if what you have to tell me causes me to tap into it." Fugaku nodded in agreement, "Yes, that would be for the best. Do you have anywhere we can go?" Before the trio were engulfed in a black nebula. Interior. Shadow dimension. "Where are we?" inquired Itachi. "This is the Shadow Realm, it's a bit weird," explained Naruto. "Now, let's get down to business." When Fugaku finished confessing his and his clan's sins towards and their betrayal of the Uzumaki clan to Naruto, as if he were in a confessional booth, Naruto's killing intent froze both Uchiha as he unleashed a mighty roar of righteous fury while going all the way up to the seven-tailed cloak while the ground shook. As he returned to base form and dissipated his Kai, having been in complete control of the Bijuu chakra the whole time, Naruto asked, "Now I've got that out of my system, shall we go back?" Making the two Uchiha Fascifault, this place is also outside of space and time. No time will have passed when we return. Interior. Konoha, Uchiha compound, Itachi's house, Fugaku's study, late morning. As Itachi and Fugaku returned, Naruto took several storage scrolls and vanished via Shunshin. Now that Naruto Itato isn't here, tell me. Was all of that true or a very convincing deception to ensure he grows to hate the Uchiha father? Did a faction of the Uchiha clan really aid in the destruction of Uzushio and the eradication of the Uzumaki clan? Questioned Itachi sternly as they conversed in a Jinjutsu world. Yes, and I've just returned everything the clan took from the Uzumaki as the spoils of victory in the battle to Naruto. Including what Root tried to take but failed since we killed their detachment after the battle. And yes, it's true when we were kids, the elders of the clan wanted me and Kushina-chan to become romantically involved so they could gain control of her and the fox later on. Of course she saw right through their plan almost immediately and beat the entire truth out of me like Tsunadeheim using the 8 gates. Continued Fugaku, when I finally stood up to our clan's council, they chose to frame Kumo as an alternative method of acquiring the Biju. Minato-kun obviously stopped them, but neither of them made any indication they knew it was the Uchiha, not Kumo. Of course, such attempts were never repeated again after that. And we wonder why the village trusts this clan so little, scoffed Itachi, you told me to act as if I were growing disillusioned with this clan. After this little chat, I won't need to pretend. In truth, my own disillusionment with the ways the clan was being managed is why I accepted the role of clan head in the first place. I've done my best to change our clan for the better, but they are as stubborn as the Nara are lazy. Later. Exterior. Konoha, Uchiha compound, street, afternoon. Appearances and preconceptions won't tell you anything. Deadpanned Itachi as he loomed over some punks who were belittling his relationship with Izumi, while a large group had stopped to watch. For instance, you've made the mistake of assuming I'm a patient man. You have that filthy half-breed spreading her legs for you like a common tramp from the red light district. Do you really think that trash will ever be accepted among us? She's not even a real Uchiha and will never be as powerful or valuable as a pure-blooded Uchiha, sneered the first punk, half-breeds have no place in our clan. The clan scoffed Itachi, leaking killing intent, you overestimate your abilities, with no idea of the depth of my own. And look at you now groveling in the dirt. Obsessed with the organization, obsessed with the clan, obsessed with our lineage, hissed Itachi, disgusted, as he growled, a worthless compulsion that enslaves us. All it does is limit our capabilities, and that in turn leads us to fear what you don't understand. Stop, Itachi-kun, urged Mikoto as she appeared before a kunai flew past her face, piercing the center of an Uchiha crest painted on a wall behind her. Itachi activated his Sharingan, I've had enough of this. There's no hope left for this pathetic clan. The people of this clan are all the same. You focus on the trivial and lose sight of what's most important. Change is impossible in this fog of ignorance. How can we evolve when regulation's all we've ever known? Rushing over to her eldest son, Mikoto closely embraced him, please calm down, sweetie. Deactivating his Sharingan, Itachi returned the embrace as a tear trickled down his cheek, forgive me mother. There's nothing to forgive, my son. You were merely sharing how you feel, instead of bottling it all up. Assured Mikoto, and you were sticking up for Izumi-chan. A month later. Exterior. Konoha, Uchiha compound, Itachi's house, late evening. Having fought valiantly but in vain, Mikoto and Fugaku lay dying at the feet of the masked Madara before he vanished as Itachi, Shisui, Izumi and Tobi, having completed their part of the mission, arrived on the scene. You three, get out of here. Ordered Itachi. The swirly masked man gave a mock salute, aye, captain. And disappeared in a clear vortex while Izumi and Shisui shunshined away. Interior. Konoha, Uchiha compound, clan nursery, late evening. A humanoid figure, half black and half white, Zetsu, half sinisterly and half joyfully smiled down at his victims, the children, before sinking through the ground, proceeding to the bedrooms of his next victims, Akamore of the clan's children. As she arrived to watch over and guard the little ones, Izumi's eyes widened in horror at the sight, then she shed a tear, no. Interior. Konoha, Uchiha compound, assembly hall, late evening. Having taken down a large number of the would-be Uchiha insurgents with the help of shadow clones, Yami Kitsune dispelled them, sensed a disturbance, and thought, something's wrong, there's more amongst the dead than there should be. Well, it wasn't our little pest control team's doing. We had specific targets, this isn't Order 66. Replied Kara. Yami Kitsune vanished into thin air as though he were never there, heading for the rendezvous point where Izumi and Shisui were waiting for him. Exterior. Konoha, Uchiha compound, Itachi's house, late evening. Itachi shed a tear as he took a moment to mourn his parents, then heard running footsteps, Sasuke. Big brother. What happened? Panicked Sasuke, who could do this? Before noticing the blood-stained sword in Itachi's hand, Mangekyou Sharingan active, Itachi made a choice, Tsukiyomi. Chapter 5. Undercover Mission. Assigned to Team 7. Interior. Konoha, Shinobi District, Naruto's apartment building, Kurenai and Anko's loft, bedroom, early morning. Naruto, in black boxers, and Anko, in purple lingerie, conversed on the bed. Do you like these, Naru-kun? Anko asked as she jiggled her large breasts, with her hands. They're a part of you, so I love them just like I love you. Naruto answered, sincerely and innocently, before hugging her. Oh, you're so sweet. How did you find a way to say you loved my tits without sounding like a pervert? I was only telling the truth. Anko lay flat on her back. Will you please massage my tits for me, Naru-kun? Anything for my future wife. He replied, making her blush as he tenderly and gently fondled, caressed and massaged her breasts, earning a relaxed sigh and soft moan. Still planning to marry me, Naru-kun? She teased. Oh, of course I am, my fair Anko Haim. And you told me you were all mine when I was older, that day in the barracks, when I first joined anbu. So, it sounded like you were all for it even before I asked. Yep, that was right before you told me you wanted to lose your virginity in a threesome with me and I-chan. Speaking of. As she entered, in crimson lingerie, Kurenai brought his hands to her waist. Happy birthday, Naru-kun, then passionately kissed him. It's time for your present, now you're sweet 16. Then Tsume entered, in exotic black lingerie, alongside Yugao, in black and purple lingerie. A month later. Exterior. Konoha, streets, early evening. Cornered in a dead-end alley by a hateful mob, Naruto, in a navy v-neck shirt, black Konoha headband, black jeans, weapons pouch on his right thigh, and shinobi sandals, with his hair blonde, asked, what, you never should have lived this long, you demon. Shouted a villager brandishing a knife. Firstly, I'm not a demon, I'm a shinobi of Konoha. Secondly, am I supposed to care about your opinion? Bluntly asked Naruto, the wind carries your treasonous voice too far on this quiet night. And you do understand it's against the law to attack a clan heir. Kyuubi brat. Shouted another villager who charged at Naruto with a kitchen knife which was deflected by a kunai. Raising his hand, Naruto acrobatically leapt behind the mob and made a pushing gesture, air palm. Sending them all crashing into the dead end's wall. As Naruto's outfit changed to that of his anbu uniform, while his hair turned red, he trapped them in place with wood style. Naruto drew his katana, secret art. Phantom Mist Jutsu. Before he cut them down in the blink of an eye whilst veiled in shadows and fog so intense not even the Byakugan could have seen through it. As the bodies were destroyed by his anbu squad who arrived, Naruto exhaled, I owe you a drink for cleaning up the mess. I want some dango while you're at it. Replied Anko. Oh, of course, Anko Haim, honey, I know how much you love those sweet balls, especially when I treat you to mine, and the long hard shaft you love sucking so much even though your experienced hands get all sticky in the process. Teased Naruto, horrifying the present company except for Anko, Tsume, Rin, Izumi and Yugao who almost pissed themselves laughing. I know a few recipes for dango, but I make candy cane style skewers to put the dessert ones on, explained Naruto who snickered. What did you think I was talking about? That sounded all kinds of sexual, sighed Yamato. You're a pervert, Tenzo. It takes one to know one. Lamely countered the older of the two wood style users. Tenzo just confirmed himself a pervert, teased Kakashi. This coming from the man who reads smut in public, countered Tsume. You should read some of Naruto-kun's books. Kitsune's heart is much better than Jiraiya's Icha series. Later. Interior. Konoha, Shinobi District, Naruto's apartment building, Naruto's loft, bedroom, morning. Happily waking up in each other's arms after a long night of passionate lovemaking, Naruto and Anko kissed before admiring each other's bodies with a devious smirk as she saw he was hard. Anko struck Naruto's member. Can your sexy Anko-chan get shower sex before breakfast as you wish, Anko Haim? A year later. Interior. Konoha. Hokage Tower, office, early evening. As Yami Kitsune, age 17, arrived, Hiruzen informed, I'm going to need you to do an extended mission under the guise of a genin. My boy Yami Kitsune frowned behind his mask, that's pointless, and you know it. I could just as easily do the mission under the guise of a chunin if you're about to do what I think you are. We'll be putting you on Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno's squad, so the little pink banshee, the entitled flight risk, and Naruto Uzumaki are supposed to be on the same squad. What unfortunate soul are you torturing by making them the captain of this ticking time bomb? Kakashi Haddock, since Shisui and Izumi haven't returned from their mission yet. I hope you're prepared for the older pink banshee's reaction to Naruto being on her brat squad. It'll include another attempt to kill Naruto Uzumaki. And at least one more illegal meeting to vote for his execution without the clan heads. Are you being informed it'll be tomorrow morning? Since there's several meetings and ceremonial clan traditions taking place, we will be ready to handle it. Later. Exterior. Konoha, Academy, training ground, early morning. As his favorite former student arrived long before everyone else, Iruka informed, okay, Naruto, time for the clone jutsu. Just gotta do one thing first, said Naruto, who switched off his appearance-altering seals, making Iruka's eyes wide and feeling an imminent headache. Yamino scratched the back of his head, when you're ready. Before Uzumaki proceeded to create hundreds of wood, stone, grass, leaf, sand, dirt, mud, iron, crystal, lightning, ice, water and shadow clones. So, do I pass? Again, only an idiot wouldn't pass you. After this I didn't know some of those existed. As the elemental and shadow clones dispelled, Naruto did one last hand sign, clone jutsu. Before every inch of the premises exterior, outdoor furniture, playgrounds, trees, walls and rooftops included, was occupied by basic clones. Iruka sweat dropped. Why didn't you do that during your first graduation, when you were 7? Because the villagers would react violently. Yo, you know what they're like towards me because of my tenant also. I have too much chakra to use basic clone jutsu without creating enough of them to populate a village. Troublesome. Deadpan Shikamaru, who approached, with Joji, Anko, Tenten and Shino, taking that test again when you've already graduated sounds like such a drag. You won our bet, Naruto-kun, said Anko, who pulled Naruto close to her and kissed him with feral ferocity until they were out of breath. That was nice, Anko-chan. It was amazing. Well, it is a kiss with Naruto, mused Tenten, and there's the second part of the bet we need to make good on. Accepting a black headband from Iruka, Naruto informed, I already have one of these, but it's always nice to have a spare. I'll be back later to hear the team placements. Before he, Tenten and Anko vanished. Troublesome Uzumaki, mused Shikamaru. Later interior. Konoha, Shinobi Academy, classroom, late morning. Entering, Naruto wore black anbu pants, a 3/4 sleeved armor mesh shirt which clung to his muscles, a dark crimson, short-sleeved, haori with black flames at the bottom, black fingerless gloves, combat boots, a belt, and black vambraces engraved with a red senju crest shuriken, and kunai holsters were worn on either thigh. An obsidian-bladed katana, with a small black tsuba, bearing the Uzumaki swirl, and the kanjis for maelstrom and shadow engraved, in orange-red, just above the tsuba, was strapped to his back, as was a scroll. He wore a black hapuri with a crimson leaf symbol engraved on a black plate, instead of the standard headband. A chain pendant bearing the Uzumaki coat of arms, with a golden swirl hung around his neck, as did Hashirama's necklace. Naruto's Rinnegan was active, his complexion was fair and lordly, and his Uzumaki red hair was on full display. Who is that? Wondered some of the students. I've never seen him before. Is he a transfer from another class or an exchange student from another village? Maybe he's been privately trained, suggested another student. I hear they sometimes assign privately trained ninja to spy on suspected traitors. Or maybe he's someone's apprentice. He's probably here to make sure emo boy doesn't turn traitor, quietly whispered a graduate. My folks say to never trust an Uchiha after Madara and Itachi. It's easy to see why Naruto-kun looks amazing, thought Hinata. Sasuke, exhaled Naruto in a deeper, calmer, and clearer voice as he sat a few rows away from the emo and opened a book on advanced seals, techniques and jutsu. Who the hell are you? Asked Uchiha, confused Naruto. Uzumaki, what the? How? Why do you look so different? I was wearing identity concealing seals instead of using a Hanjurjin jutsu to change my look. When did you even learn sealing? I started learning as a child. Why the Uzumaki clan invented the art of sealing. I wanted to live up to and honor their legacy. Their affinity for and mastery of it was legendary. So much so that Suna, Iwa, Kiri, Kumo, Aim, and all of their allied minor villages combined the full might of their military forces to invade our little country and wipe us out. When my mother was a child, even a rogue division of Konoha shinobi, specifically Danzo's Root and the Uchiha clan, were involved. Only survived because she was here in Konoha at the time of the attack. So basically my clan got off easy. By comparison, yours was only a few hundred in numbers at the most, and the Uzumaki clan numbered in the tens of thousands. So yes, also, your home is mostly undamaged, but Uzushio was left in ruins. I know, because I've been to the latter. Give me that sword. I'm an Uchiha elite. If it's powerful, it should be began Sasuke, who was punched in the throat, followed by the ribcage, then the gut, caught by the hair, and thrown into the chalkboard at the front of the room. As everyone went silent, your kind is unworthy of even touching an Uzumaki or Senju blade in any way that isn't dying upon it. You filthy Uchiha scum, your kind is little more than arrogant trash, thieves and traitors, growled Naruto, with venom upon saying Uchiha. Trash. Scum, growled Sasuke as he got to his feet. How dare you call the Uchiha such things? Because it's true, and we all know it. The only Uchiha to make an impact on our history is Madara, a traitor who's tried inciting civil wars and coup d'etats. He tried to destroy Konoha because he didn't get chosen as the first Hokage, reminded Uzumaki. And because an already betrothed Mito Uzumaki rejected him when he proposed. How the hell would you know something that specific? I have my ways. It said that he also orchestrated a civil war between the mostly peaceful Uzumaki before leading the enemy nations against them. Where did you get the headband, Naruto? Asked Kiba. It's pretty cool, and that's a badass sword. They belong to my mother, Kushina. They really suit you. Thanks, Kiba. You've been holding back on us. Just how strong are you? You'll see soon enough, mused Uzumaki, noticing a faint but lingering scent. Kiba grinned, "You got laid, didn't you?" Naruto's only response was a small smile. "Why do you wear the Senju coat of arms, Naruto?" asked Shino, changing the subject. "Princess Tsunade is my grandmother, making me a descendant of both the Uzumaki clan and the Senju clan," explained Naruto. However, the Senju clan still has many enemies who would love to see its last son slain. "Someone felt it was safer to give me the Uzumaki name, despite them having several nations full of enemies. Also, most of the villagers hate me, so taking the Senju name sooner could have caused problems for Grandma Tsunade. I understand." "Did you always have that Taijutsu?" asked Sasuke. "Yes," replied Naruto. "Hiding an awakened bloodline like this one from the public was annoying. I guess if I had my Sharingan awakened, I'd want to show them to the world too. Learning techniques for yourself instead of just copying them with a Sharingan will make them more effective. Is that so? Take away the Sharingan, along with everything they've ever copied with it, from one of the greatest ninjutsu masters in the Uchiha clan. And what's left? So you're saying without the Sharingan, the Uchiha are useless? No, that's your conclusion. What you'd have is someone whose reputation is well earned by their own skill." What was the Uzumaki clan known for? Again, their invention and mastery of sealing naturally extremely high and potent chakra reserves, adamantine chains, and accelerated healing, naturally high resistance to genjutsu, immunity to so far all illnesses, toxins and poison, superhuman life force, perception, reflexes and dexterity, prolonged lifespan, and slower aging. A rich history and lore that doesn't involve technique theft, betraying their allies, inciting wars, or spawning psychopaths like Madara. Touché. Don't ever try to steal my clan weapons or anything else from them. If you attempt to take mine or withhold anything stolen from my clans by the Uchiha, I'll kill you and take them back by any methods necessary. The civilian council won't like that. I'll kill them too. Someone's woken up on the dark side, grunted Sasuke before he reached for his throat. Channeling his inner Sith Lord, Naruto raised his hand in a gripping gesture, strangling Uchiha with a gravitational force, then sent him flying into a neighboring wall with a wind-style air palm, but not hard enough to send him through it, earning shocked looks. "What the hell was that?" asked Sasuke as he caught his breath. As he hinged into the form of Sidious, Naruto answered, "The dark side of the force is a pathway to many abilities some considered to be unnatural. Is it possible to learn such powers not from a GD?" replied Naruto, who dropped the hinge as Sasuke returned to his seat. Noticing Ino was reading one of his novels, Naruto asked, "Enjoying the series?" Ino nodded, "Yeah, it's my favorite. Would you believe me if I told you I'm the author for real?" "That's really awesome, Naruto," mused Yamanaka. "Yeah, and if you're ever taking a peek inside my mind, you'll probably find out just how much of it has actually happened to me. Who's the kitten in the clouds based on an old friend?" Interior. Kumo, loft, bedroom. "The beautiful two-tailed cat Jinchuriki sneezed. Kitten, Naruto-kun, must be thinking about you. Maybe he's fantasizing about tearing off your clothes, tying down your naked body, making you purr, moan in pleasure, and scream his name as he has his way with you," purred Matatabi. "And claims you as his mate while you have heavenly sea." Tabi, gasped Fujito. Interior. Konoha, Shinobi Academy, classroom, late morning. Iruka entered to see his students doing their own things. It feels strange seeing Naruto as a redeed after the whole blonde disguise, thought Iruka. "Okay, everyone, team assignments. Team 7, led by Kakashi Haddock, will be Sasuke Uchiha," began Iruka, who continued, "Sakura Haruno," earning a squeal of excitement, then finished, "and Naruto Uzumaki. I'm doomed," whined Sakura. Not Haruno, anyone but her, thought Sasuke. Looking up from his book, Naruto deadpanned, "Really? They're putting 2 trauma cases on a squad with the definition of a useless fangirl. Come again?" asked Iruka. "This is a catastrophe waiting to happen, and you know it also. 3 Dojutsu wielders in one squad puts a bigger target on our backs than spandex leotards as a team uniform." Exterior. Konoha, training ground, morning. A man and teenage boy with matching bowl haircuts, bushy eyebrows, green spandex leotards, and red headbands worn like belts, sneezed at the same time. "Lee, my most youthful student, it seems that we've either caught a cold or someone, quite possibly my eternal rival, is talking about us." Interior. Konoha, Shinobi Academy, classroom, late morning. Sasuke looked at Uzumaki. "Trauma cases? The council never gave you any forms of mental health support, guidance, rehab, or counseling after your clan's massacre, did they?" "No, they didn't. That's because the civilian council doesn't care about you or how the massacre affected you. They blocked every attempt to get you the help you needed. They only care about gaining power, prestige, wealth and influence. All they want is the Sharingan and to take the Uchiha fortune for themselves. Especially the Waruno family. They couldn't care less about any form of your health." "And how are you traumatized?" Naruto carefully elaborated, "Since I was born on the night of the Kyuubi attack, with whiskers which could be a bloodline trait for all I know. The villagers think I'm Kyuubi in human form." "There is no logic to such a belief," observed Shino. I suspect the abuse they've subjected you to as a result of such ignorance has affected your personality and chakra control. You're hiding your true appearance and power. Before your graduation supports this hypothesis. I'd say the same, but it's too troublesome. Thought Shikamaru. Blinded and consumed by their fear, grief, bitterness, anger and hatred, the villagers have been projecting it all onto me. Continued Uzumaki, the civilian council keeps calling for my death because they're stupid enough to believe such obvious lies. Even though I'm a clan heir, this morning was their latest call for it being put to vote, completely illegally by the way. It almost passed because the shinobi clan heads and the Hokage were delayed by other meetings. Fortunately, the Hokage and all of the shinobi clan heads, including my grandparents, Tsunade Senju and Jiraiya sensei, the latter being my appointed Uzumaki clan rep, arrived just in time. Earning horrified looks before he shot an icy stare toward Sakura. What? Asked Sakura, nervous. Why are you looking at me like I just killed your puppy? Your mother's the one who called for this morning's vote on executing me. Your mother has tried to have me, a legitimate and confirmed clan heir, killed countless times because she believes those lies which were spread by a psychopath named Danzo Shimura. Danzo. Asked Iruka. That scum is a traitor to our village and nation. He is the accomplice and ally of several high-profile criminals, despots, and fugitives. To name a few, the tyrannical warlord Hanzo of the Salamander and the crime lord and business magnate Gato Suna's missing ninja Sasori of the Red Sand. And Konoha's very own Orochimaru of the Sannin. After a minute for everyone to calm down, Iruka informed, teammate will be Kiba Inuzuka, Hinata Hyuga and Shino Aburam, led by Kurina Yuhi. Earning smiles. Naruto smiled in approval as he kept reading. You have one of the best jonin in the village. As your sensei, she'll take good care of you as your mentor, but Kiba better keep his hormones in check or he'll regret it. Kurenai-chan's best friends are his mother, his sister, Yugao Yuzuki and Anko Mitarashi. And Team 10 will be yet another Ino Shikacho formation, Deadpan Shikamaru, which leaves us with Asuma Sarutobi. Yes. Confirmed Iruka. Naruto inquired, Iruka-sensei, did the civilian council try to sabotage the chances of me graduating and my education here? Yes, they tried all the time, answered Yumino. They were determined to get you removed from the academy and barred from the shinobi program entirely. You would have been on the active roster with a team when you were 7 if they weren't meddling with your files. Shocking. The class I was put on the reserves list anyway, remember right? That slipped my mind. Interior. Konoha, Academy, classroom, late morning. When Asuma entered with an unlit cigarette in his mouth, Naruto, sitting in the front row, away from the emo and Banshee, threw a sleek dart, as thin as a senbon, with 2 small fins which pierced the cigarette, and carried it into the no smoking sign on a nearby wall. You know the rules, Asuma-san, chuckled Naruto, who activated his Rinnegan. No smoking, or Iruka-sensei will have you in detention. Asuma nodded and closed his packet before taking his team with him. As Kurenai arrived, Naruto smiled warmly at the Genjutsu mistress. Morning, Nihime. The crimson-eyed Kunoichi beamed as their eyes met. Good morning to you too, Naru-kun. It's lovely to see you again, darling, and as always, it's a blessing from Kami to gaze upon your graceful beauty with my own eyes, my fair and lovely lady, mused Uzumaki, whilst the genin stared at him. Missed you too, my dear Naru-kun. Chuckled Yuhi, who escorted her new students away. Bored, Uzumaki looked at Sasuke and Sakura. Let's at least make an effort to succeed as a unit. We'll need to use teamwork for the foreseeable future. Work with you? Scoffed Haruno. Why would me and my Sasuke-kun ever work with you? I'm not yours, trash. Snapped Sasuke, and like he said, we're not going to make any progress as ninja if we refuse to cooperate with each other. Wow, you're so smart, Sasuke-kun. Squealed Sakura, making both boys cover their ears. Turning to the redeed, Sasuke muttered, literally all I did was agree with you, and she's giving me the credit. Are you really surprised? Deadpanned Uzumaki. No, but it's so annoying. Checking the time, Naruto called, you can come in now. Before the door slid open, revealing Kakashi's gravity-defying silver hair and masked face. My first impression, I don't feel like telling you. Shrugged Haddock. Oh, and nice coat, Naruto. My sensei had one just like it, so I feel nostalgic. I can introduce you to my tailors and have them make you one in exchange for foregoing the mask when we're not on missions. Offered Naruto, who shunshed in front of his sensei. And we negotiate other options. You could buy me dinner at Ichiraku's, all I can eat. My poor wallet. Gasped Kakashi. More like your poor bank account. Replied Uzumaki, making Kakashi faint dramatically into his arms before the two of them shunshed away. Where the hell did they go? Asked Sakura before noticing her obsession leaving. Sasuke-kun, wait for me. A few minutes later. Exterior. Konoha, Academy, rooftop, late morning. Seated separately as Sakura and Sasuke finally found Uzumaki and Haddock, they began introductions. I'm Kakashi Haddock. I have no desire to tell you my likes or dislikes. My hobbies. I have lots of hobbies. Goals. My dreams. I have a couple of those, vaguely summarized Kakashi.you rehearse that, mused Naruto.and you've just volunteered to go next, little brother. My full name is Naruto Uzumaki Senju Namikaze, began Naruto, shocking Uchiha and Haruno. My hobbies and likes are only shared with my friends, and my precious people. I hate many things, many people, and many types of people. My dreams, and my goals are none of your business. Sakura squealed, I'm Sakura Haruno, and I love shopping, when people buy me things, going to expensive places, and money meeting people of status, and getting my way going to the orphanage with mum to mock the orphans and cut back their funding, since they're worthless wastes of money and resources. Getting my hair done, getting discounts on what I buy, and Sasuke-kun. My dream is to marry Sasuke-kun, have his children, and take the Uchiha fortune for my family. I hate being low on money. Getting dirty and sweaty, breaking my nails, not getting my way, how bossy my parents are, Ino Pig, Sai Baka, and Naruto Baka. Uzumaki gripped his hilt as a non-verbal threat. Ugh, this gold-digging trash is dead weight. Thought Sasuke, a murderous glare directed at Haruno. She'll get herself killed, thought Haddock, bored, and at this rate, it'll be Naruto or Sasuke that kills her. Maybe, I should make that a wager in the betting pool. I am Sasuke Uchiha, the emo introduced. I hate many things and don't like anything I care to mention. My goal, my ambition is to restore my clan. And obtain the power I need to kill Itachi. That's a selfish reason. Scoffed Naruto. What do you know about power? Snarled Uchiha. I know that with great power comes great responsibility, and there's always a cost. As his eyes widened in alarm, Kakashi barrel rolled out of the way as Might Guy appeared on the rooftop. Startled, Sakura screamed while Sasuke jumped to his feet, but Naruto didn't even blink. Hey, Guy Naichin, greeted Naruto as he closed his book. I take it that arrogant tool you call Niji team, as well as respectable shinobi like the indomitable spirited Rock Lee and the lovely angel of weaponry, Tenten-chan, are coming to watch your tone, whoever you are, hissed Niji as he arrived, or I will make you suffer. Scoffed Naruto, who rose to his feet and stared deep into Niji's Byakugan eyes with his Rinnegan, making the Hyuga recoil. What would you know of pain and suffering? He's sorry, interjected Tenten as she appeared and looked into Naruto's eyes. What's your name, handsome? Tenten wore a white kippao-style top with red trimmings, form-fitting black 3/4 length shinobi pants, a utility pouch on her left thigh, a headband, and black sandals. Stepping away from Niji, Naruto gently took Tenten's right hand in his and kissed the back of its palm before gazing into her chocolate eyes. As his eyes reverted to blue, Naruto Uzumaki Senju Namikaze at your service, my fair lady. And to whose treasured acquaintance do I have the honor of making? The brunette Kunoichi blushed. Tenten, then she eyed his hilt. May I see your sword as you wish? Obliged Naruto, who unsheathed his blade and held it flat, horizontally, in his hands, resisting the urge to drool. Tenten was in awe of such magnificent craftsmanship. This sword was wielded by Kushina the Red Death Uzumaki Senju during the last war. Then she inquired, where did you get her sword? She is my mother, you know. Tenten gave kitten eyes. I'm sorry, for a moment I thought you might have stolen it. Naruto smoothly replied, I didn't steal the sword, but if you'll please allow me the privilege of stealing a kiss, I'll forgive you, Tenheim. Making Tenten blush whilst the present company was speechless, sheathing his sword for him, Tenten leaned in and tenderly kissed Naruto on the lips whilst closely embracing him. Gai and Lee did a happy dance at the sight while Sasuke rolled his eyes and Kakashi gave an eye smile. Sakura tried and failed miserably in flirting with Niji, who brutally rejected her. As their lips parted, Naruto gently caressed Tenten's flushed cheek and admired her facial features. You're as adorable as a panda when you smile like that, especially with your cute little buns. Do you like pandas? Asked Tenten, mesmerized by his blue eyes as she stroked his left cheek's whiskers with one hand. They're my favorite, Tenheim. Naruto replied, they're my favorite too, but you're the only one I've ever let call me panda nicknames, since I know you're being sweet, not mean. Foxes are my second favorite, mused Tenten, and I definitely want to see you more often than I have been lately, handsome. As a rose appeared out of thin air, Naruto presented it to Tenten, who accepted it along with a kiss when their hands joined. You used to be blonde in public and a redeed in private, chuckled Tenten, and it's been a while. Naru-kun, I figured I'd properly introduce myself. Now I'm stepping out of the shadows. Thanks for going along with it. Well, you were being charming. And I've never heard your full name before. I had to make sure there weren't two of you. The only time there's more than one of me is when I clone myself. Eyeing Uzumaki, Tenten mused, you're a godsend of a kisser, Naru-kun. Can we kiss again sometime? Tenheim, you already know you can kiss me anytime you like. Assured Naruto. How many girlfriends are you hooking up with? Asked Sakura. Irritated Sasuke interjected, not that I was paying attention, but as far as I know, he has yet to call anyone his girlfriend. Speaking of girlfriends, can I be yours? Asked Haruno. Because you're a shallow, gold-digging, annoying brat with little to no self-control, a fangirl who disgraces and devalues the titles of shinobi and kunoichi, a burden that will most likely get yourself and others killed if you don't drop out of the shinobi program. And a stalker whose infatuation has created a romanticized fantasy expectation of me that nobody can live up to. Damn, that was savage. Thought Tenten. I believe you require aloe vera, taunted Niji, with a smug expression, or citric disinfectant to treat your third-degree burns, jerk, muttered Haruno, peasant whore. As Sakura prepared to punch the Hyuga, Naruto warned, don't even think about it, he insulted me, grumbled Haruno. You and Ino-chan insult each other all the time, without getting violent. Attacking anyone who insults you is childish, reckless, foolish, dangerous, and impulsive. What if you behaved like that towards a client, a relative, a comrade, a superior officer, a peer, or a political ally? But Niji's trained in the fighting styles of the second most formidable taijutsu-oriented clan in the village. And has probably been training since he could walk, pointed out Naruto. You have no training besides the most basic textbook moves, and you've most likely never trained or practiced them outside of school. Why are you intervening? Questioned Niji. I have no desire to see the banshee being gentle-fisted by someone wearing a shower cap. Deadpan Naruto, earning laughter from Tenten. You said my clan's taijutsu was the second most formidable in the village, which clan's taijutsu is the first, finding their respective fighting styles complemented each other. The Uzumaki and Senju clans co-developed several new fighting styles to celebrate the marriage between Queen Mito Uzumaki of Yuzu and Lord Hokage Hashirama Senju. These fighting styles were utilized by my mother, Kushina. The Red Death of Konoha. I would be most interested in seeing such fighting styles with my own eyes, for I hear she was truly a sight to behold on the battlefield. This youthful information is most insightful, commented Lee, and Naruto, you look very different from how I was led to believe. The benefits of appearance-altering seals, shrugged Naruto, it's more effective than a genjutsu or henge. Can only be released by the caster or another seal master. Do your flames of youth burn bright along with my will of fire? Kakashi, why don't we train our youthful teams together today? Asked Guy, enthusiastic. Please, no, thought Sakura and Sasuke, mortified. I don't mind training with Guy's team, agreed Naruto, as long as I get to spend time with the ever-graceful Tenheim. I haven't even given them the bell test yet, mentioned Haddock. Emo and Pinky have only just graduated from the academy year, a veteran jonin, deadpan Naruto. If getting the bells is really the objective, they don't stand a chance, no matter what handicaps you set. They'll only get the bells if you let them, which you won't. Or if I get them myself, which I have no desire to do. And they despise me, so they'll refuse help from or refuse to help me during your test. The genins looked at Naruto in surprise. Spoiler alert. Asked Kakashi. If you try to send this ticking time bomb of a squad back to the academy, began Naruto, who took out a book, I'll spoil this newly finished and unreleased, limited and extended edition of Icha Tactics for you. Absurd, such a trivial thing could not possibly persuade an elite jonin on the level of Kakashi Haddock. Scoffed Niji. You wouldn't? Panicked Kakashi, sweating bullets. Wanna bet, Kashi Naichin? Asked Naruto, making direct eye contact. Turning to Team 7, Kakashi sighed, thanks to Naruto, I'm letting you pass, but on a probationary basis until I make my final decision. Then eagerly turned to Naruto, now hand over the precious easy, Gollum, chuckled Naruto, and what are the magic words? Naruto Itaudo, can you please hand over the precious? I'll buy you dinner at Ichiraku's. All you can eat. Handing over the blue book which Kakashi went to open, Naruto stepped back before there was a small charge, shocking Kakashi, who was brought to his knees. It worked. Thought the genins, caught off guard. I've underestimated Naruto's skills in deception more than I thought. Muttered Ichigo. Kakashi. Gasped Guy, who turned to Naruto, my youthful friend, what was that? A few simple security seals used for confidential documents. It can only be opened by the author of the contents, the one who placed the seal, or after its official release date. It also appears blank if it's left open. We can't have an impatient reader spoiling an unreleased book, can we? Asked Naruto, who added, it just wouldn't do, you know. All too innocently, causing some of the present company to laugh and sweat drop. That was mean, dejectedly said Kakashi. Serves you right for trying to read pervy sage's smut in front of these young, impressionable genin, scolded Naruto, whose hair stuck up as he glared. You know Kushina Haim would be so proud of you, chuckled Haddock, who inquired, and what kind of monster put such seals on the precious? I would, and it's another way to prevent you from reading it around women, especially Nihime. Replied Naruto whilst Team Guy made their exit. Facing Naruto, Kakashi smiled, you blackmailed me into passing a flight risk of a squad. You took advantage of my precious. And used underhanded tactics to exploit me. I'm so proud of you. Thanks Naichin. Suspicious, Sakura looked at Naruto. Where did you even get that book from? Jiraiya-sensei. Aka the pervy sage, answered Naruto. He's why I created the sexy jutsu, which can be done for both genders. The change is a legit shapeshift, not a simple illusion like the transformation. Jutsu.The name could use some adjustment. From how red Sakura's cheeks are, I'd say it'll work well on her. Mused Naruto, but which version? Or should I try both? No. Don't try them on me please, I'm begging you for the love of Kami, don't use that jutsu on me. You've just revealed a rather pathetic weakness to people who could easily become your opponents. Patiently waiting, Kakashi asked, shall we get started with training? We still need to evaluate your skills and abilities firsthand, not on the academy's rooftop. We won't, answered Naruto. Why not? We don't want to burn down or blow up the academy with an overcharged fire-style jutsu and the nearby gas tank, pointed out Naruto, who turned to his teammates. Speaking of which, do you know what your primary elemental affinity is? One of mine is wind. And Sasuke's primary affinity will be fire like the rest of the Uchiha. But what about you? Sakura stunned. Sakura lowered her head in shame. I don't know. Under his breath, Sasuke muttered, Kunoichi of the year, my ass. Later exterior. Konoha, Training Ground 7, early afternoon. Whilst sparring with Kakashi, Naruto leapt back, then threw a pair of kunai which multiplied by 10 before he disappeared in a yellow flash, which proceeded to overwhelm the Jonin, who was then hit by a double Rasengan, sending him crashing into the ground. Reappearing holding both bells without a hint of fatigue, Naruto apologized. Sorry, Kakashi sitting up in his now ripped, torn and otherwise damaged gear. Kakashi groaned. That was embarrassing. Kneeling by his sensei's side, Naruto's hands glowed green. It could be worse. I could have made more kunai shadow clones, or used the sword too, then healed Kakashi's injuries. I know. What were those last jutsu? Asked Sasuke, interested. They're part of my inheritance, summarized Naruto. Keep the Sharingan eyes off of them if yours awakens. Attempt to steal them, or go whining to the council about it, and you'll lose the eyes before they can gain their second Tamo, or awaken the Sharingan at all. I take it, that's not an empty threat. Would you want anyone stealing your techniques, clan jutsu, and personal moves from you? Fair point. Naruto, did you really have to threaten Sasuke-kun? Asked Sakura. He was just curious. Can't you tell us what they were? If you'd actually paid attention in history, instead of daydreaming about raping Sasuke, you'd recognize the Rasengan and the flying rage. And really, was the academy bribed into letting you graduate with falsified grades? Sakura awkwardly chuckled. Well, you have got to be kidding me. Thought Kakashi and Sasuke. I can also do the multi-shadow clone jutsu, which makes the kunai shadow clone jutsu easier to master, and all the more terrifying for my opponents when I use both, mentioned Naruto. Please, I bet you couldn't even do the clone jutsu, scoffed Sakura. There's no way. Earning eye rolls. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. He just did the Rasengan and Hiraishin, and you don't think he can do shadow clones? Wanna bet on that, Sakura? Asked Naruto. If you're actually capable of it, I'll take my training more seriously. You should always be taking it seriously. Reprimanded the three boys. Naruto didn't even need a hand sign before every inch of unoccupied space in the training ground was filled by shadow clones. Are you kidding me? Asked Sakura, shocked. Along with Uchiha. And we're solid clones too, stated one of the shadow clones. I don't suppose you're willing to teach me some of your moves? Asked Uchiha with a small smile. One of the Naruto clones poked the emo's forehead, causing him to flinch. Okay, now I've seen some of Sasuke and Naruto's moves. Sakura, you're up, stated Kakashi, who took a taijutsu stance as the pink-haired girl approached, taking her textbook stance. Sakura said, ready, sensei. For the record, I'm not expecting you to have any spectacular or flashy moves yet, just show me what you already know. From there, we can work something out and experiment with different styles to help find one that really suits you. Okay, yes sensei. Your squad mates may be willing to help you train even when I'm not supervising. And don't be shy about practicing with the other genin or asking shinobi tutors for a little extra help. As if I'd need Naruto Baka's help, scoffed Sakura. I'll never need it. You'll regret saying that one day. Whilst watching Haruno and Kakashi's one-sided spar, Sasuke stood next to Naruto. You've had extremely advanced and intense training. So, who trained you? None of your business. The council may try putting you under the craw for your bloodlines. If they do, I will participate on my terms and with the willing consent of my potential partners. It's all voluntary, and if a relationship doesn't work out, I won't force someone to be with me. Well, do you think they'll take that? There'd be very vocal resistance to approving my participation by the civilian council, who think I'm a demon. And that's because I mentioned that the villagers think I'm Kyuubi in human form. How they've treated me and how they've continually tried to kill me. Wasn't anyone protecting you? Let's just start sparring. Oh, please, I'm an elite of the U, began Sasuke before Naruto's fist knocked him onto his back. The only names in the ninja world that matter are the ones people make for themselves by their own reputation, names like the Sannin, the Copy Ninja, White Fang, Yellow Flash, Red Death, Unruly A, the Tailed Beast without a tail, the Professor, the Teleporter, Demon of the Mist, Seven Ninja Swordsman, and the Blue Beast. I take it my claim of being an elite's the first thing you want to beat out of me? Yes, since arrogance like that will get you and your comrades killed. You're not in the academy anymore, there's always going to be someone stronger to overcome, answered Naruto as he took a stance. Now, shall we dance? Taking his Uchiha interceptor stance, Sasuke nodded, if you land even one hit, I'll rein myself in with the boasting and bragging I already landed one, and don't whine to the civilian council, replied Naruto, as he began evading hits. They seem to have it in for you there, also under the delusion that they can control and manipulate you, like Palpatine manipulated Anakin Skywalker. They want an Uchiha clan they can control and influence, since the old one was too independent. Defiant and prideful for them. I hate politicians, and that sounds like the civilian council. Naruto hit Sasuke in the gut before evading a series of attacks. I know who's really to blame for the Uchiha massacre, and I've killed him. Shocked as they stepped back from each other, Sasuke demanded, who was it? Tell me it was Danzo Shimura from the Elders Council. The sick bastard's arms were covered in stolen Sharingan eyes, and another in the right eye which he hid behind bandages. He had jars full of them, using the massacre to acquire all of those eyes. And it's not the first time he's stolen the Sharingan, as he'd done so prior to the Uchiha clan's fall. Feeling no deception, Sasuke questioned, are you saying you've avenged my clan? I had my own reasons to kill him. What did you do with the eyes he stole? I destroyed them in accordance with Konoha's Dojutsu theft laws, clan laws, and out of respect for the dead, along with returning several Uchiha corpses, including those of your parents, to their graves. If you're telling the truth, I don't know whether to thank you or be angry that you robbed me of my vengeance. Take a number. There's a long line of people who wanted to kill Danzo out of revenge. 10 minutes later. Fire style. Fireball Jutsu. Attacked Sasuke. Water style. Water bullet jutsu. Countered Naruto. Fire style. Great Fireball Jutsu. Water style. Water wave jutsu. Fire style, began Sasuke before wood shot out from the ground and restrained him while spinning his arms to his sides. That wood's from an especially flammable tree because of the oil within it in place of sap, unless you want to burn yourself alive. Fire style's a bad idea right now. Knocked into the air by wooden tendrils as he was let free, Sasuke saw a single kunai fly by him before adamantine chains hit him from multiple angles, wrapped around him, then slammed him to the ground. Damn it, groaned Sasuke, that hurt my pride and my body. The local daimyo's wife's feral cat puts up more of a fight than you, replied Naruto. Maybe Tora will be an easier sparring partner for you. Sasuke staggered to his feet. I take it those chains at the end were the adamantine chains you mentioned? Yes, also, you have wood style. Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise and undeniable proof that I'm of Senju lineage also, as far as I know. Only the royal family of the Uzumaki clan's ancestral homeland of Yuzu wield adamantine chains. Let's go again. I'm not done yet. I'd be disappointed if you were. After all your boasting, this would be going differently if my Sharingan had awakened. Unlike the Hyuga's Byakugan, there's no guarantee a Sharingan will awaken inside an Uchiha. And honestly, if the pain and trauma from losing your clan and watching it happen whilst under a Jinjutsu didn't awaken it, it's unlikely anything will. How did you know I had to watch it via Jinjutsu? You survived the massacre with no physical injuries. And you were in a coma for several weeks afterwards. The timeline of events as you arrived after the massacre. Yet you've claimed to have witnessed the whole thing, hence why I've concluded that's what you were seeing under a Jinjutsu. Sasuke nodded, makes sense. As a furry menace raced towards him, Naruto lifted it into the air with an invisible force whilst raising a hand and put it in a storage scroll. They let loose Tora for the genin to chase again. Looks like it, agreed Kakashi as he and an exhausted Sakura regained consciousness. If the fuzzball gets any faster, it'll give Shisui a run for his money. Joked Naruto, and Sasuke actually laughed for real. As Anko arrived, Naruto asked, you aren't by any chance looking for a runaway? Fleabag, the little monster stole one of my dangos, hissed Mitarashi. Have you seen it anywhere? I have it in a storage scroll and may be willing to hand it over, negotiated Naruto, in exchange for a kiss. Oh, you're getting a good one, lover. Naruto, that's unprofessional conduct. Interjected Kakashi, this coming from the guy who publicly reads smut. Countered Naruto and Anko. Amused, Anko pulled Naruto intimately close, bringing his hands to her wonderful breasts and made out with him in ways that would make Kami blush. Parting lips and taking a scroll, Anko winked before cutting Naruto's cheek with a kunai and licking the wound which healed itself. Type B, one of the most delicious blood types, teased Anko, I'll taste you in more ways than one, later, my foxy cun. Before she vanished. What the hell just happened? Asked Sakura. Naruto sentenced that poor cat to death at the hands of the head of the Anbu interrogation and torture division, sighed Kakashi. She loves her job and Dango as much as Naruto loves ramen, Uzumaki pointed out. It's easy to become addicted to the only food you can afford. Or the food at the only place who'll make you feel genuinely welcome and serve you a warm meal in a world that hates you more than anything. Surely, not every restaurant refuses to serve you. Asked Sakura. The only 2 civilian-owned restaurants in this village that willingly serve my blonde persona without overcharging me are Ichiraku's and the Dango Diner. Said Naruto. Also, that wasn't a scroll containing the little menace, then what did you give her? Inquired Kakashi, concerned. Compensation for her lost Dango. Answered Naruto as he approached Team 10 who showed up, out of breath. Passing the scroll containing the fugitive to Ino, Naruto informed, cat's in the scroll, don't open it until you're with the client. Also, tell her that Tora's breed of cat doesn't like most forms of physical affection. To be gentler, and to be more aware of when Tora's uncomfortable. She's a cat, not a human child. Tora keeps running away, like Sasuke running from his fangirls. Because she's scaring Tora with so much attention. And that she feels boxed in, which cats hate. Feeling that sending someone Tora's unfamiliar with to find her is only scaring her more and she'll return when she's calmed down. With a smile, Ino nodded, thanks. Joji asked, does anyone want to go out for BBQ for lunch? Unrolling some storage scrolls after creating tables and chairs with wood style, Naruto set up a BBQ, rugs, tablecloths, an esky, some baskets, and a picnic set. I've brought it to us. The present company, except Sasuke and Sakura who left, looked at Naruto in wonder whilst Kurenai joined them too. As everyone else got seated, Naruto summoned a wood clone to help him prepare the ingredients. Would you like me to help you? Offered Ino as she joined Naruto by the BBQ, a decent cook herself. We can consider this a teamwork exercise, mused the redeed, and thank you. By the way, I've never actually liked Sasuke. I was faking, so people would underestimate me by dismissing me as a fangirl. Ino-chan, you deserve someone who'll be there for you unconditionally and give you the love, devotion, support, kindness, attention, and affection you deserve. Yamanaka smiled, oh, you're sweet. Then kissed Naruto's cheek. As he turned off the BBQ, Naruto used several clones to distribute the food and beverages. Naruto blushed when Kurenai sat in his lap, facing towards him, and gave him a prolonged kiss on the lips whilst closely embracing him, shocking the present company. Am I missing something, Naihime? Asked Naruto as her breasts pressed against his chest. With a chuckle, Kurenai pointed to his apron with the words kiss the cook. Across his chest before pulling it off of him, then whispered, it's a shame you weren't wearing your fuck the cook apron. Then again, you best only wear that one for me and Anko-chan. Before her words became inaudible. As something hard poked against her, Kurenai giggled and blushed upon realizing what it was, then whispered into Naruto's ear, happy to see me, are we, darling? Whilst he blushed, Naruto gave a slight nod. As always, Naihime. Anko-chan often boasted of your legendary prowess as a kisser. Naru-kun, mentioned Yuhi, with a hint of mischief. Do you agree with her assessment, Naihime? Asked Uzumaki. She's always understated how wonderful your kisses are. Ditto, and if you want or need more of them, just let me know. Naihime will do, Naru-kun. If you're free tonight, I'd be honored to take you out to dinner if you'll allow me. Anko-chan's already called dibs on me for tonight. Informed Kurenai, who kissed Naruto's cheek, but I'll happily go out with you some other time. Okay, love as you wish, fair night. Tenshi. Yuhi giggled, maybe I'll take you home with me tonight after all, since we both know Anko-chan won't mind. As long as you two lovely ladies have me in bed by 9, I might need to be up early for a mission. You know, Kurenai blushed, does it have to be your bed? Naru-kun. Nope. The Genjutsu mistress beamed, perfect. How's Naruto flirting with Kurenai-sensei like that without getting in trouble? Wondered Ino. Naru-kun and I know each other very well and have for a long time, so we're comfortable flirting with and teasing each other, and we've even been on dates. Answered Kurenai as she sat beside Uzumaki. When Asuma went for his cigarettes and Kakashi went for his orange book, they found both missing with a shadow clone of Naruto at the head of the table, holding them. No smoking or smut allowed at this picnic. Said clone Naruto, who sealed away the contraband before being dispelled. Why take my cigarettes? Wondered Asuma. Second-hand smoke can be just as bad for one's health, reminded Kurenai, we don't want our students inhaling anything toxic. Or picking up any bad habits from us, right? Kakashi. Why am I being singled out? Asked Haddock. You were about to read the pervy sage's smut in front of the innocent little Genins. Answered Kurenai, earning laughter. Since when do you call Jiraiya that? Asked Shikamaru. Since I heard Naruto calling him that after catching him peeking at me in the hot springs. Explained Kurenai. How did he know Jiraiya was peeking at you? Wondered Choji. I sensed Naihime's chakra presence on the other side of the wall, since I've always had pretty good sensory abilities, admitted Naruto, and pervy sage was muttering words that describe her and mentioned at least one of her nicknames whilst taking pervert notes. Kurenai pouted, and did you take a little peek of your own? After dealing with him I heard a scream on the other side of the wall, so I looked to see if anyone was hurt. Oh, that was Anko tearing off our towels, using one of her smaller snakes as a distraction. Did you get a good, memorable look? Naru-kun, I was more worried about your well-being, but yes, because of my photographic and eidetic memory. And don't worry, pervy sage didn't see anything. I checked his memories. Naru-kun, darling, only you could look through a pervert's peephole with noble intentions then admit it to one of the women you saw. While doing so I've never lied to you, fair Nihime I know, and I appreciate your honesty with me, Naru-kun. Asuma-sensei is jealous of how close you two are. Noticed Shikamaru, with an amused smirk. I'm not jealous. Protested Asuma, unconvincingly. Sure you're not, giggled Kurenai, you just denied it so quickly that we don't believe you. Okay, yes, I may be a little jealous that he's so close to you. Why you always said no when I asked you out. Asuma, you're over 20 years older than me. Now, I just feel like a dirty old pervert. Maybe because you are. Teased Kakashi. Hey, at least when I read smut and porn, it's in private, not in public. Countered Asuma before he and Kakashi felt a rise of killing intent from Kurenai and Ino. Naruto rose to his feet, placed two complete Icha collections on the table, and grinned at Asuma and Kakashi, Amaterasu. As the books were reduced to a memory by the black flames, yes, those were yours. Kurenai smiled at Uzumaki, see you tonight, at my place, Naru-kun. Gave him a parting kiss on the cheek and shunshined away. At the same time interior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, Torture and Interrogation Division, Private Interrogation Room. As she unrolled and opened the storage scroll upon a table revealing not the fugitive flea bag, but half a kilo's worth of dango and a case of sake, Anko's eyes gleamed. Yes. 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 Kami, yes Naruto, I fucking love you so much. Yes. Fuck, yes. Yes. Interior. Konoha, Anbu HQ, Torture and Interrogation Division, Corridor. Passing by Anko's interrogation room, Ibiki wondered, are they at it in there? Again on second thought, I don't want to know again. Asked Tenzo. Later exterior. Konoha, 3rd Hokage's estate, study, sunset. Speaking with a cloaked figure, Hiruzen inside stepped before Naruto appeared next to him in a yellow flash. Grandpa, greeted Naruto, in his Anbu uniform and mask, who noticed the third person. Hey, Naichin. Hello, Naruto, greeted Itachi, you're all grown up. Naruto smiled, and still waiting for that bowl of ramen you promised me. Making Itachi chuckle and Hiruzen laughed. How Sasuke? Asked Itachi. He's an arrogant, egotistical, entitled, narcissistic, brooder with an elitist superiority complex. He boasts about the power of a Sharingan he hasn't even awakened. He's had everything handed to him on a silver platter by the civilian council. Deadpan Naruto, they call him the last loyal Uchiha, despite how Shisui and Izumi are alive. Sasuke has no concept of loyalty. He cares about his power and revenge. I believe he's fallen under the Uchiha curse of hatred, even without the Sharingan. How unfortunate and disappointing. Do I have your permission to kill him if I need to? If it comes to it, yes. Confirmed Itachi. Naruto placed his right hand over Itachi's eyes, hold still, before they glowed with golden chakra. I've taken care of the ocular bleeding and deterioration causing drawback of your Mangekyo Sharingan and cured you of all of your present illnesses and symptoms. How an ancient sage healing art developed by Ashura Otsutsuki. Moments later interior. Konoha, Naruto's apartment complex, Anko and Kurenai's loft, living room, mid-sunset. As he was pulled into the room by Kurenai, after appearing at her door in a flash, Naruto was immediately embraced by her and Anko. What time did Foxy-kun say to have him in bed by? Asked Mitarashi, a cheeky twinkle in her eyes. 9. Answered Kurenai, and it doesn't have to be his bed suite, we can have a sleepover. Sounds like a plan. Later interior. Konoha, Memorial Stone, mid-morning. So, what do you recommend I teach our little Genins first? Asked Kakashi. Chakra control exercises like tree climbing, water walking, meditation, and the leaf exercise. And physical exercises to increase their stamina, speed and reflexes, so they're more likely to stay alive in their first battle. Answered Uzumaki, it'll make Konoha look weak and vulnerable if the so-called Uchiha lead under your tutelage dies at the hands of a common bandit. Agreed. We both know the civilian council, if they're not put in their place, will push for Team 7 to participate in the exams, regardless of your assessment on its readiness, just to show off Sasuke like a star attraction at the circus or the zoo. Exterior. Konoha, training ground, late morning. Noticing Haruno limping as she arrived after Sasuke, Naruto asked, so, how's your ambition of restoring your clan coming along? Sasuke wore the same clothes he had on yesterday, which Naruto could tell from the creases. Sakura wore a light pink sports bra and short miniskirt, a utility pouch, a pink belt, sandals, and her headband like a hair ribbon. As his and Sakura's cheeks flushed, Sasuke muttered, shut up you, someone's grumpy. Didn't you two last long enough last night? Naruto gasped Sakura, what kind of easy, shallow whore do you think I am? You don't want me to answer that. As he appeared in a puff of smoke, Kakashi, with his father's sword sheathed behind his back, greeted, good morning, my cute little genins and my little brother's doppelganger morning, acknowledged clone Naruto, the boss will be here any minute, but he sent me ahead, so he isn't technically late given, we shadow clones are fully sentient, and we share our memories with the original when we dispel. Sasuke raised an eyebrow, he had time to send a clone ahead, but didn't come himself. He knew Kakashi would be late, so he took his time then, where is he? Clone Naruto pointed behind them, to Naruto approaching with the Hokage before disappearing. Not sorry to keep you waiting because I had other priorities. There was this old man with his grandson, who needed lots of help carrying their groceries. Then the kid asked me to play with him, whilst giving me puppy dog eyes. Then the old man thanked me by taking me and his grandson out for breakfast. But he forgot his wallet, so I paid. Then I walked his grandson to school. And the old man asked to meet my sensei, so I brought him with me, explained Naruto. I made sure not to rush since the old man wanted to stop and appreciate some of the sights. And here we are. Lord Hokage, is this true? Asked Sakura, skeptical. Of course it is. Answered Hiruzen. I have a feeling there's more to your visit than you're letting on, Lord Hokage. Stated Kakashi. I need to speak with young Sasuke. Informed Hiruzen, we have much to discuss on private matters with some survivors. What do you mean? Asked the emo before a familiar duo shunshin next to Hiruzen. Shisui? Izumi? Asked Sasuke, I thought you were dead. We couldn't tell anyone we were alive without compromising the mission we were on, explained Izumi. Thank Kami, I'm not the last besides Itachi anymore. Sighed Sasuke, I can't stand the civilian council's crap. Kakashi turned to the emo genin, Sasuke, take the day off so you three can catch up. Before the Uchiha trio and Hiruzen left. What's on the agenda today, Kakashi? Asked Naruto. Well, I think you two should get some sparring and since you're openly using your mother's sword now, I figured I should get back in the habit of using mine, so you have another swordsman to train with. Specific rules for me, and Sakura's Sparta Jutsu moves only for sparring. I intend to take full advantage of the wonderful opportunity to have your clones perform multiple different training exercises. I know what you mean, I've been doing it. Since I learned the wood clone jutsu and multi-shadow clone jutsu. Can I learn the latter jutsu? Asked Sakura with a sigh. Kakashi explained, multi-shadow clone jutsu is a forbidden jutsu that requires a considerably higher amount of chakra than the shadow clone jutsu. I can create up to 4 shadow clones, but I can't sustain them for longer than maybe 5 minutes before they dispel. But Naruto Baka can create thousands of them and do entire training regimens with them. Well, Naruto-kun has far higher chakra levels, potency and reserves than his parents did at the height of their power. His mother had the highest chakra levels ever seen in the Uzumaki clan, which is saying quite a lot as their chakra levels were always breaking records. Oh, please, I bet Sasuke-kun can do that jutsu better than Naruto Baka. You'd lose that bet and Sasuke would die in the attempt. You also shouldn't be insulting and putting down your teammates and comrades. Naruto Baka's neither and will never be either. Stepping to the side, Naruto removed and neatly folded his cloak, which he sealed inside a storage scroll, then noticed Haruno was staring at his muscles. When you're done staring like a pervert, you can pick your tongue up off the grass. Naruto, sighed Sakura as her shoulders lowered, really Fee, you'd benefit from spending less time doing your hair, starving yourself, and stalking the emo, and more time training. I didn't ask you for advice, Baka. I know the perfect place for the 4 of us to go camping for a real teamwork exercise, mentioned Naruto, with a hint of mischief. Is that so? Asked Sakura, suspiciously, and where's that survival training ground? 44, Aka the Forest of Death. Was the suggestion courtesy of Anko? Inquired Kakashi. It's not so bad after you learn its layout and terrain, and what flora and fauna live there. If there's ever a snake that talks, it'll be a summons. You'd better hope it's not one sent by Orochimaru of the Sannin. Asked Sakura. Studying the Sannin can be your homework tonight, replied Kakashi, you should have learnt about them early on in the academy. Creating a shadow clone, Naruto ordered, spar with Haruno. I'm going to practice with sensei. Okay, boss. Activating his Sharingan, Kakashi drew the white fang, ready, Naruto Uzumaki readied his katana, let's do this. Later exterior. Konoha, training ground, early afternoon. As they finished the catastrophically one-sided spar which the clone only evaded during, Sakura was completely exhausted. I'm done. Clone Naruto deadpanned, you need to work on your stamina and start eating properly instead of starving yourself. I don't want to become fat by overeating. You're neglecting your health by denying your body the nutrients, vitamins and protein a shinobi needs. It's stunting your physical growth and development and weakening you. Ask any experienced Kunoichi for advice and tips. The next day exterior. Konoha, training ground 7, late morning. Meeting up with Team 7, Kakashi greeted, good morning, my cute little genins. Any missions today or more training? asked Sakura. Well, I actually have some techniques to attempt teaching you that Naruto suggested. Should we be worried? Asked Sasuke. Yes, be very, very afraid. Naruto, can you walk Sakura through the drills of Shaicho while I do the same for Sasuke? Requested Haddock. When I suggested getting others to help you with your first genin squad, I didn't mean me, protested Naruto. Just try, will you? As a favor to me, I have my own training to do. She can have a clone. But really, it's something you could walk both of them through at once. As it was created, would clone. Naruto ordered. Sakura, assume the ready position of form I. Shaicho, before the fangirl raised a borrowed katana into a sloppy excuse of a ready position and stance. Really? You call that a stance? Scoffed the wood clone, this is just embarrassing. The sword's not weighted properly, lied Sakura. You're not even holding the sword properly. Don't have your main hand so close to the handguard. Move your left hand down the hilt a little so your hands aren't overlapping. Make sure those feet are apart. You're not a bowling pin. Who knew learning a damn opening stance would be so hard? Whined Sakura, who tried correcting her stance. For the love of, grumbled wood Naruto, who created a shadow clone that perfectly took the stance, then turned to Sakura, like that. She nodded before correcting her stance, then her gaze drifted towards Uchiha. Stay focused, for fuck's sake. Snapped wood Naruto, or so help me, I will shove an exploding kunai up your fuckhole and say you died from an orgasm. Making the girl faint into the mud whilst Kakashi and Sasuke, who'd overheard, laughed. Deep in meditation as he sat cross-legged in a lotus position, the real Naruto gathered nature energy as he floated above the ground, perfectly still, with a glowing aura of starlight white chakra. Amik. Not strangers. Interior. Konoha, Naruto's apartment complex, Naruto's loft, kitchen, 7:30 p.m. So, would you ask me to act like we didn't know each other today? Asked Tenten, sitting next to Naruto, a noodle hanging out of her mouth. We were in the same class, silly. Well, we'd technically not introduced ourselves fully while I was in my natural Rikido form and I thought it'd be funny. Answered Naruto, I told you previously my name was Naruto Uzumaki and while that's true it's not my full name, Databane. Tenten knowingly smiled, good point, and you owe me an amazing massage for keeping that from me and you'd better forge me a damn good sword too. Before they shared a kiss, you taste almost as nice as our meal. Then maybe I'll feed you something that'll taste better than our dinner. He huskily said, something only I can give you and it's not just a nice dessert. Oh, I know this treat and me likey. Purred Tenten before kissing him as he picked her up bridal style. Exterior. Konoha, Naruto's apartment complex, Naruto's loft, master bedroom, 7:45 p.m. Watching Naruten cuddle through the window, a certain, more than meets the eye, golden-eyed, black cat smiled before she vanished in a flash. Chapter 6. A couple days off. Later. Interior. Konoha, weapons shop, midday. Entering to see Tenten, Naruto smiled, hello there. Naru. Gleefully greeted Tenten who hugged him, it's good to see you. Good to see you too. How's training the rookies going? After my stunt with the book, I gave Kakashi a list of mandatory techniques he should teach them before going on missions outside of the village. What techniques? We're trying to teach them tree climbing right now. Unfortunately Haruno's sole focus is getting into Sasuke team's pants, getting him to knock her up and stealing his family's fortune, not becoming a ninja. Also, as you know, my training regimen is far more intense since I can use my shadow clones to help me train which makes my rate of progress considerably faster. I've been distracted from my elemental affinity training since Gai-sensei's too specialized into jutsu. Admitted Tenten. When you've finished your shift, let's fix that, show each other a few moves, do some sparring and training together, then go out for dinner. It's a date, she mused, I finish soon, so let's see what I can negotiate you into buying in the meantime. Handing over some designs, Naruto asked, can I have 500 of these kunai made and one of these hilts? I can certainly do my best for the latter, but they look like they need some kind of crystals to power them, answered Tenten. Revealing a crystal, Naruto stated, this will be the power source. It's infused with both of my chakras and will collect the excess that leaks out. Holy crap, you're basically asking me to build you a lightsaber. What are you going to call it? I'm thinking I'll call it the Fox's Fang. And I have a working prototype you can reverse engineer, so it'll help you design a more elegant look for it. I'm in love, dreamily mused Tenten as she looked into his eyes. But the weapon are with me? He asked. With you, she confessed. Love you too. Also, you'll be sharing me with Anko if we enter a relationship. I'm good with that. Picking up dates, Naru-chan? Asked Tsunade as she entered. Ramit Tsunade. Greeted Naruto, hugging the busty Sannin, what's new? I've been chosen as the 5th Hokage and accepted. That's great news and those glorified criminals on the civilian council won't know what hit them. Tenten smiled at how happy her friend looked and knew his smile was a real one. Brahma, you remember Tenten-chan? Naruto stated. It's nice to see you again, Tenten-chan. And I hope you two enjoy your date, said Tsunade. Several hours later. Interior. Konoha, restaurant, early evening. As she sat in a booth next to her date, Tenten kissed Naruto, thank you for the training, helping me discover my wind and water affinities or double affinities, the heavenly kisses, soothing massages, and the wonderful date, Naruto. Anytime, Tenheim. He mused whilst they cuddled. Hey, Naru-kun, what were those chains you summoned during sparring? She asked whilst looking into his blue eyes. Adamantine chains are part of the Uzumaki clan's bloodline. Scorpion from Mortal Kombat must be in Uzumaki. Joked Tenten. Head over here. Naruto quoted in a deep voice, making her giggle. Would you like to stay at my place tonight? Asked Tenten, hopeful. I'd be honored if that's what you want, although I'll also extend the same offer. Yours this time, even though we live in the same building. And you know I get really cuddly in my sleep, so we're sharing a bed. Oh, I remember, and that's alright with me if it is with you. You know I'd never mean to pressure you into anything. I know because it's you, and I'm lucky to have known you for so long. And I've been blessed with the gift of meeting your graceful self by the Sage of Six Paths, Lady Luck and Kami. Flatterer, I bet you say that to Anko too. I'll admit I have spoken those words to Anko Haim before, but they're no less true when speaking them to you. Interior. Konoha, Shinobi District, Naruto's apartment building, Naruto's loft, bedroom, evening. Naruto, in black PJ boxers, and Tenten, in a white bra and pink panties, happily cuddled on the bed. You're so cute with your whiskers, Naruto, mused Tenten, who tried tying him to the bed, only to be tied down instead. Ooh, what'll you do now you've captured me? This. Said Naruto, who playfully tickled her midriff, earning relaxed laughter, gleeful giggles and a bright smile. Ahahaha, I hahaha love hahaha being hahaha tickled hahaha, cheerfully laughed Tenten whilst squirming in her bonds, but making no attempt to escape. Good to know, now remind me, where are you most ticklish? My hahaha sweet hahaha spots hahaha are hahaha my hahaha midriff hahaha hahaha belly hahaha button hahaha. Ribs hahaha, underarms hahaha, feet hahaha. Eyes hahaha, sides hahaha and hahaha. And where? Asked Naruto, who gave a cheeky grin. If you don't tell me now, I'll have to bring in extra interrogators to assist me. The hahaha extra hahaha interrogators. Gasped Tenten between giggles. As he paused, Naruto created several shadow clones. Now, are you going to tell me your last sweet spot? Your worst. Dared Tenten, whose eyes gleamed in anticipation. 3 hours later. Having been thoroughly tickled into submission by Naruto and his clones, Tenten surrendered. Hahaha you hahaha win hahaha. I hahaha surrender hahaha and hahaha submit hahaha to hahaha you hahaha. You hahaha have hahaha broken hahaha me hahaha. Pausing as he dispelled the clones and untied her, Naruto asked, where was that last ticklish sweet spot? Catching her breath as Naruto put away the belts, Tenten's cheeks flushed, my boobs. Since you hesitated to tell me, I figured it was a personal area. He mused as they lay in each other's arms. Although I had a feeling you would have told me either way, but just wanted to be tickled for longer first. Yep, she confirmed, enjoying the warmth of his body heat. Hey, Naruto, would you mind if we slept naked? I'm willing to if you are comfortable with that, he answered. I'm just careful about people seeing my special equipment. Admiring his member as they were both nude, she asked, who had the privilege of your first time Anko Haim? Replied Naruto. How about we make sure it's still working properly after that? She mischievously asked whilst stroking his hardening manhood. Naruto let out a little moan. Are you sure you want this, Tentenheim? I don't want us to have any regrets about something like this also. Do you have any protection? I'm pretty sure we don't want to have a baby so early in our own lives. Are you telling me a master of sealing like yourself doesn't have a pregnancy prevention seal? She teased before letting out a moan of pleasure as he caressed her firm, round, perky breasts and stroked her womanhood. I have one, and I just put it on. Then I hope you have lots of stamina for what we're about to do. She purred into his ear. I have the stamina of Atlas. I've also made a variant of a few home and property security seals to protect people from their more personal areas being violated. Happily snuggled up to each other when they were finished having their way with each other in several creative ways, the two shinobi gazed into each other's natural eyes. Hey, Nair, yes, Haim, what's the seal on your stomach for? I've never seen anything like it before. As he met a gaze, Naruto revealed, Tenheim, I've been the Jinchuriki for the Kyuubi since the day I was born. I wasn't exactly happy about it when I found out, since the villagers put me through hell when I was using my blonde look, but I have a pretty great life as a redeed. By the way, my Jinchuriki status is supposed to be an S-rank secret. Thank you for trusting me with this. And being honest with me. While we're at it, began Naruto, who undid an invisibility seal, revealing his tattoo. Well, you probably figured that part out years ago. Well, you regularly hang out and train with Anbu and have two different appearances, true, and you already know to keep it a secret too. Yep. What's your codename? Yami Kitsune. Yo, you have quite the reputation and live up to the hype. By the way, Kurama-chan says she approves of us. Tenten raised an eyebrow. Hishikai Ubi, and she's a kind spirit, not a demon. That's awesome. Later interior. Konoha, Shinobi District, Naruto's apartment building, Naruto's loft, kitchen, early morning. As he boiled the kettle, Naruto offered, "Would you like some tea, Tenheim? I have chamomile, peppermint, spearmint, vanilla, and different combinations of each chamomile and spiced apple, please, Foxy-kun," requested Tenten as she ate a home-cooked meal he'd prepared. Also, you were amazing last night, so were you, my playful little Ten-chan. I wonder how Anko would react if she saw us right now. She'd be upset that we had sex without her. What's going on with you two? Anyway, we've loved each other for a long time, and we're not exactly hiding our relationship. Also, she knows with my bloodlines revealed, I'll inevitably be placed under the craw and be expected to take multiple wives. So basically you love each other, and you know the village council will order you to have your own little harem. Adamantine chains and would release our invaluable assets. And there's only one other Rinnegan wielder alive today that I know of, so yes. And I'd make sure each of my lovers are truly loved, respected, safe, and treasured. And that none of them are being forced to marry me, or vice versa. Hey, can you sing I Will Humor You? Chuckled Naruto, who improvised, in the village hidden in the leaves, none come mightier than the brave and the bold. The green beast of Konoha is Mido guy, indomitable to the marrow of the bone, overcoming all the odds whilst doing 1,000 squats. The handsome devil of the leaf is none other than Rock Lee. Who needs a chill pill with looks that could kill. It's the Iji Niji of the Hyuga. Better not be an abuser. Or after him. I'll send Kisame and Zabuza when you need a baddest weeponess to save your ass in a mess again and again. None surpass Tenten. Giggling in amusement, Tenten held up an audio recorder. I am totally making them listen to that also, threatening to send the 7 swordsmen of the mist after Niji. They have skill sets that make a Hyuga fighting one of them a potentially fatal mismatch, like someone fighting a wind-style opponent using battle fans with only projectiles and thrown weapons. I really hope that comment's not foreshadowing my future. Since I'm a long-range fighter, I would hope guys making sure you're a certified badass at any range. Also, I know several combat seals I can teach you that should help. Sounds like we're going on more training dates, she mused, giddy with excitement. Well, the last ones went so well, agreed Naru-kun. I have a present to send to Fu-chan via one of my summons before setting out for the day. I'll walk you home, or to your training ground when I've sorted that out. Okay. Who holding a photo? Naruto elaborated. My pen pal and adoptive baby sister from Taki. She's just become a genin and wants to study seals, so I bought her some Fuinjutsu books and scrolls. Oh, she's so cute. Entering the room, completely naked, Anko pouted. You've been having fun without me. We'll invite you to join in next time. Assured Tenten, and Naruto. Mitarashi kissed Naruto and Tenten's cheeks. Good, and it's convenient that we all live in the same building. Yep. Tenten mused. He turned a formerly condemned city block into a shinobi apartment complex as nice as a freaking luxury resort and has all kinds of security, endurance and privacy seals set up well. If we're going to risk our lives for the village, the least we can have in return is a safe place to live near our friends. Seriously, if anywhere should feel safe for a ninja, it's their home, said Naruto. Agreed. By the way, Anko-chan, why are you naked? Asked Uzumaki as he beheld the snake mistress. Not that I'm complaining, since you look incredibly sexy as always, because I want you to take me to your bed and make love to me, my dear Naru-kun, replied Mitarashi, who pulled Naruto close and kissed him. Please. I need my Naru-kun fun time and you shall have it, Anko-heim. Yay. Cheered Anko, who beamed. You're the best, Foxy-kun. Soon thereafter, interior. Taki, Shibuki's house, office, morning. Chatting with her friend, Fu's eyes lit up when there was a puff of smoke revealing a slender young woman with brown downward spiky hair. She wore a blue and pink outlined, shoulderless, sleeveless top with ruffled straps around her upper arm, a matching miniskirt, charmed bracelets around her wrists and ankles with a large ruby red gem pendant, and a golden belt. She was holding a gift-wrapped package in one hand, and a blue and pink staff with a golden spiral on the end was in the other. Until she set them down on a nearby table. Mononichan. Greeted Fu, cheerful as she cuddled Mana before giggling as the summons tickled the young Jinchuriki's tummy. Ha 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 ha. Have you been a good girl, Fu-chan? Asked Mana as she planted a kiss upon the mint-haired girl's forehead. Yes, Mononichan. Assured Fu before being presented with the package. Happy birthday, Fu-chan, said Mana. I come bearing gifts from Naruto-kun, opening her present to reveal several books, stationery, paper and Fuinjutsu tools. Fu beamed. These are perfect. Shibuki cleared his throat. Ahem, Fu-chan, would you mind introducing your friend? Fu nodded. Shibuki-kun, this is Mononichan.She's one of Naruto Naichan's summons, and she's like a big sister to me. She's also one of the summons we agreed wouldn't scare the villagers. If they come to see me I could swear I've seen her on a trading card. Blurted Shibuki, making the two girls giggle. Interior. Konoha, Hot Springs, private bathhouse, early afternoon. Having activated several privacy and anti-pervert seals, Naruto, Tenten, Kurenai and Anko relaxed in the warm water. How did you get a booking when this is one of the most frequented hot springs in the country? Asked Kurenai, intrigued. Instead of only taking money, when I caught those I was spies at age 6, I was given the hot springs as part of my payment, answered Naruto. Apparently the old owners were looking to sell or go into partnership with younger business partners. They just didn't expect a 6-year-old. Earning amused smiles before he closed his eyes. Interior. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto's surroundings were a lush green forest with a peaceful aura, refreshing breeze, the relaxing sound of a waterfall, and the soothing waters of a lake connected to said waterfall. Uzumaki, naked like he was outside his mindscape, sat across from his lovely tenant on a softly cushioned bench. Hara had smooth, light skin, tamed crystal white hair that reached her upper back with 2 short bangs at the front, emerald green eyes, nails and lips, little silver fox ears, and 3 short whiskers on each cheek. She was average in height, slim, voluptuous, flexible, busty, curved in all the right places, and had no pubic hair. Full, firm, round, perky cup breasts, a shapely round ass, and a taut tummy with an innie belly button, a healthy size waist and hips for her figure, toned legs. And size 10 feet. She was also completely naked, except for a small collar with a kanji for seal engraved upon it. Naru-kun, you've chosen these vixens well. Are you going to pop a question to them? Asked Kara. I'm pretty sure they'll let me know when they're ready for the next step, answered Uzumaki. You should listen to Matatabi-chan's love life advice. The horny, perverted fire cat in heat, giving me love advice. Half of her advice would probably land me in jail or the hospital. With a foxy grin full of mischief, Kara began an elegant, exotic, seductive dance, up close and intimately. Then she sat in his lap, brought his hands to her curves, and passionately kissed him. Exterior. Naruto's mindscape. Interior. Konoha, Hot Springs, private bathhouse, early afternoon. Hearing the girls giggling, Naruto opened his eyes to see them looking between his legs, then realized he was hard thinking about something naughty. Asked Kurenai, cheeks flushed. Asks the one eyeing my package with cheeks as red as her eyes. Touché. What if Naruto joins Anko as Anbu? End here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.